This is Ketchin Up, a post-season debrief and behind-the-screen look at the Third Gallon Podcast.
Catching up. Time for some ketchup with your mayonnaise. It's catching up.
Oh, that's good.
Catching up. Slather that on some beef.
Yeah.
Welcome to Catching Up.
The hamburger? Oh, yeah.
Little catching up for one of the biggest pieces of content that we've ever done. Catching up for season 3.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say the biggest pieces of shit we've ever done.
What the biggest
dumb thing you ever seen?
piece of shit you ever did on See Big Jail?
Well, this was nice. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
We just finished. Boy, we've gone through the ringer today. It's a week after we completed the campaign. We finished it up last week. We're actually recording this at the table in my living room. We're not in our studio.
I think you mean my office.
Yeah, it's been converted back to your office. It still has the foam in it because everything is in chaos right now. We're basically planning to move, and that's why we recorded everything ahead. And so Drell's got their office back for the time being, and we wanted to get everything done. And we're back. We're actually back in the place where we recorded the first episodes of this podcast. I don't know if you guys remember. We recorded in this corner of my living room, although the table is much nicer now because we're not on plastic tables. We're on a real table.
When did we change?
To the real table?
Yeah.
We got this.
Or no, the office.
The other room.
Yes.
We were in there. So the timeline of our setups is we were on this half of the room from beginning of season 1 to about the last 2 episodes, I think, of season 1 we recorded.
Then we went into the center of the room.
The center of the room. I remember I was prepping for Witcher. I listened to all the audiobooks, read the rule book. Like I did a lot of work to get ready for that season. And I was listening to Witcher audiobooks when I was moving everything over there. And I know that we recorded the stuff with the giant. Scrome? Is that his name?
That sounds
in
about
Forbidden
right.
Lands.
Yeah, sounds right.
We were over there when we were doing that. And we were over there when we wrapped it. But we were there for like maybe 6 months. And then we were at the setup in the middle of my living room for a long time. That was like end of 2022 or 2021. All the way up until we started season 3 there. I think whenever we took our hiatus in middle of 2023. So what is that? Like a year and a half, basically. End of 2021, 6 months plus a year. Yeah, about a year and a half we were there. And then we were in the studio from August 2023 until, it's August 2023 now or 2024. So about a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the history of our setup. But we're in the living room right now because you got to make room for stuff. And we actually, it's so poignant. Our faithful, trusty mixer shot the bed today, and we're on our backup audio interface recording this. I'm so glad we recorded all season 3 because recording more season 3 content like this would be a pain in the ass. We did it. Accomplished our mission. We finished this massive fucking season.
We did an adventure path.
Our first ever finished adventure path.
Yeah. We've played more of an adventure path technically because Reign of Winter's a 6-booker and we're in book 4 last we played. But how do you guys feel? I mean, looking back, that's 106 episodes, technically 107 because 106 is a 2-parter. How do you guys feel looking back on that? Finishing an adventure path and cranking out that season.
It was fun, and for the most part, it was good.
Yeah.
What do you mean for the most part it was good?
I think my criticisms in our last Catching Up are still valid about the pacing and the order of events between the first book and the second book. I actually have as many complaints about that in the third book.
I was going to say book 3 was quite nice.
Yeah, but book 3 was very nice. But overall, as an adventure path, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Drow?
I appreciate that we finally finished something. Honestly, I feel as though I have been led through a lot, and because of people who are no longer in this group or who are too busy, we haven't finished much. So I'm glad we finished it. I'm glad it's done. I think that the pacing could have been better. I agree with Jacob. And I have completed before a first edition adventure path, and I'm not going to lie.
A whole one.
Yeah, I played
6 books.
Yeah, I played through Ruins of Aslant.
I thought you joined that one later on.
I did join it in the second book.
Wow.
Yes. And that one definitely felt more heroic. I don't know. Something about the pacing and the threat level of Pyronite varying so differently between the actual thing and what you could have like as the plot explosive made it seem discordant and underpowered.
Look, can I ask you something about Ruins of Aslant?
Yeah.
What is the threat level at the end of that? What's at risk at the end of Aslant?
The entire coastal world will flood.
That's a pretty big threat because
Yes.
at the end of Outlaws of Alkenstar, I feel like the threat level for the end of Alkenstar is appropriate for its level. And
Yeah.
that's the weird thing because it's the end of an adventure path.
But it ends at like 11 as it's supposed
Yeah,
to.
it's a 3-book one.
Mhm.
So I get that. Yeah, yeah.
And I ended at 16 in Ruins of Aslant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also, spoilers for Ruins of Aslant, I guess. You were also disabling a bomb.
Oh.
However, it was an aboleth bomb. And it was going to flood like a mile inland on all continents.
That's a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm. So it didn't have, this adventure path was not quite as grand as it could have been.
But it's
I think
also
that's-
smaller in scope.
Yeah, I think that's because it was more restricted to staying in the mana wastes to maintain the flavor of the adventure, even though we ended up in the Cradle of Quartz, and that was
Meta Waste.
it was jarring though. It did
Yeah.
not quite feel like a Western at that point in time.
And that's something we've addressed when we talked about book 2.
Yeah, we've basically everything we've already talked about. But this was, I guess to sum it up, a fun adventure that I think more could have been done with to make it seem more spectacular. And I think that Derek ran it about as good as one could run this adventure.
Aw. Kat, how did you like it? Just your overall thoughts on, you finally get to finish an adventure path. We finished an actual big campaign. What does it feel like for you?
I'm not quite as negative as everyone else. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the story went pretty decently. It's not going to be perfect. I loved playing in Pathfinder 2e. I thought the ending was pretty nice. It was a little bit odd to have the trick of, it seems like Muglin's the big bad and then it becomes Angelique Lovelace and all that. But it worked out for my character, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had to wait a long time.
Oh, that was a little rough, but I ended up enjoying it. The change of your baseline fantasy setting was nice to me. It was really refreshing.
Yeah.
It's actually very funny. I think a majority of the complaints that we've had center around book 2.
Yeah.
Because book 2 was fun,
End of
But
book
it
1
was
as well.
bizarre.
but it's not what you would think of when you think of a Western adventure.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, that's all addressed. I'm pretty sure I'm catching up for book 2.
But I did very much enjoy book 3.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Book
The ticking
3.
time clock, the energy was higher.
The investigation stuff in the first chapter
Book 3, I
was a banger.
I had complaints about pacing in book 1 and book 2. Book 2. I had complaints about things in book 2, but book 3, I have almost nothing but positive stuff to say.
I wonder if we would have had a better time in book 2 had we done the same thing that we did with book 3, which was play more
You
closer
mean like
together.
tighter?
We might have.
Oh,
we may
for
very
sure.
well have.
For sure. That definitely helped. I think book 3 was stronger by itself because we
Yeah.
were still playing Scattered the spring of this year, 2024, when we started it. It was pretty scattered, but like it was still fun. It was just harder to keep the energy level going. I think if we had played closer together, it would have been better. But the fundamental problem is Muglin is still at the end and it's
Yeah.
unsatisfying.
Our complaints would have still been the same, even if we had played closer together, because our complaints weren't necessarily about our experience, but like how it was written as a whole.
Yeah.
But once again, I think book 3 was phenomenal. I think the pacing of it going from investigating the gunworks to finding out about Parsis at the Hydroforge, or finding out about the Hydroforge, then from the Hydroforge finding out about the bomb from Parsis to going to stop the bomb, it was well written. It made sense.
Also, don't skimp on the before gunwork stuff. The whole we need to track down Loveless breaking into the FBI.
I forgot
stuff.
about.
I love that.
I straight up forgot about that.
That was like a lot of fun.
But everything connected, and even when we had an undead section, it didn't feel out of place because the undeadness was also combined with the steampunk aesthetic of Alkenstar. So the theme, because we keep saying hee hee ha ha cowboy adventure, it's also the steampunk
It's
adventure.
steampunk.
Yeah.
So that was still there. And it was the order of it. Like, one of my biggest complaints was the order of book 1. And I don't have any complaints about that in book 3.
Oh, it's
Everything
solid.
was phenomenally ordered. And the risk at the end of book 1 was also top tier. A good end
Book
of
3?
the adventure. Book 3. A good end of the adventure risk factor.
Let's talk about that then. Are you guys satisfied with how the adventure ended? Not just the writing of it, because I feel like we got universal thumbs up on well-written end of the adventure,
Oh, yeah.
threat, and like scene setting stuff. Are you also satisfied with how it ended the way we played it?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You feel like you got enough closure out of everything?
Yeah, we found there are some questions I have, but this isn't about the adventure overall. It's just little details I want to know what happened and figure out like how we were supposed to find out certain things if we were.
Yeah.
But like overall, yeah, we found the risk, we handled it, and honestly, we kind of rocked it.
Yeah, you did. You honestly, like, I was very worried about that final encounter. I was very worried about the last chapter of book 3 in general, because if one thing goes wrong, like, it's a whole cascading set of things that can derail, ruin the campaign, make it end in a failure. But you not only handled the last chapter well, you obliterated the final boss fight.
I think about the biggest complaint I could have had about book 3 was something that wasn't a big deal for us because we handled it. And that was the whole last chapter being a stealth fest, where being sneaky was essential. And some parties would not have been built for that, but ours handled it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
What Psyche didn't have in stealth, they made up for in deception.
Exactly.
And it was glorious.
Yeah. You satisfied with how it ended, Psyche?
I think somebody should have died.
Yeah. We came close. We came really close.
I mean, my character came close. I just rolled better this time. The dice said Eleanor lived.
Yeah. Honestly, if you had rolled like you did at Parsis's thing, you would have died.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
And it would have been very novel. Like,
I mean,
dying in the last adventure would have been, or dying in the last fight would have been very conclusive, I guess, for anybody.
there was a part of me that was a little disappointed that Eleanor didn't die in the end, just because it would have like finished out her arc beautifully, narratively speaking. And then there was a part of me that was so freaking relieved that I managed to have a character who survived the big bad fight, and it was not a big fat bad. Like, after losing my character to a freaking nobody,
To a goose chase.
I didn't lose Eleanor to a nobody, and it felt good.
Nah, man. I'm glad everybody lived. That's the thing. You can't plan or count on someone's death in Adventure Path, because otherwise it's the GM killing them.
But Eleanor came so close to dying that it did like feel like the stakes were up there.
Everybody lived. We were heroes. I loved it.
And you did. There were like out of regular roll, like wasn't a bottle cap or something spent. Like there was some work on
Oh
it.
yeah, I spent a bottle cap on keeping Eleanor from dying. I had another one to spend too, so Eleanor was pretty good for a good bit there.
Yeah,
And again, we both had two whenever Al died.
yeah, you dropped a lot of bottle caps on
Yes.
Al, and it couldn't
Al
keep
was
them up.
Yeah, but
determined.
Al was in a worse situation.
Al was destined to die,
Al
unfortunately.
died in the fight.
It hurt. It hurt so bad.
Yep. Honestly, you got the best of both worlds, or all of us did narratively, because you got to take down Loveless. Eleanor got the killing blow on Loveless.
I was so happy, guys.
Loveless got her parting shot death
Which
ability
was pretty
off.
sick.
Just
Oh, it was
sick
so
as
good.
hell.
That's about as close to a GM's going to cause a death at the end of this adventure as you're going to get.
It worked exactly as I wanted it or saw it was going to work, which is I hit you and criticaled you on my way down, and it took you down.
Pretty sure it was an auto-critical if it hit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but still, rolling
brag about
hitting is
critical.
not guaranteed.
I know.
I hit and criticaled you, took you down to dying, and you still had persistent damage. I think you were dealing
and I
with.
still had bleed damage too.
So like we all got that moment, and you just were able to pull through, which gave us the moment that we had with Eleanor and Al, like bringing Al back. So like, I don't know, it just felt like it was a win-win-win-win-win. If Eleanor had died, it would have been sadder, but it would also been, you guys would have just brought Eleanor and Al back almost certainly. So not having to have that, I feel like made it less cheap. It felt earned. Eleanor lived and you guys brought Al back. It was great. It was awesome.
I think it really rounded out the arc I had built from her, going from being willing to throw her life away to no, I don't want to die, and then surviving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it feels like we were all pretty happy with things. I want to ask Psyche here, with the whole Mercury thing, were you happy with Psyche here's character arc? Because you kind of got more crazy, and you hinted to the allusion, or you alluded to that Psyche here had been under the effect of some of their modifications in their decision making.
I very much so like that was left open-ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, the open-endedness really made that.
Well, then are you satisfied with how Psyche here transformed throughout the course of the campaign?
No, but I could not have done anything else with them. Psyche as a character was a very specific and very headstrong entity in and of itself, and I had very little control over what they did.
Gotcha. I'm going to lead off of that into another question I had for you guys, which is, if you looking back now at the campaign we had, would you have made the same character again?
Yes.
No, I would have made a druid.
Really?
Yes.
Hands down, I would have made Chester.
Tell us a little bit about your idea for the druid you would have played.
My backup
Jacob is looking at
character
me so angrily.
My backup character was designed as a druid, and yeah, that's very, very classy, Derek.
He just gave him a bird.
Jacob's looking at me upset, and I just flipped him off.
And I was going to have them be a mana waste like cryptid.
Ooh.
Something that was trying to scare the people of the city of Smog into respecting nature more.
It's very. Have you looked at the cryptid rules in 2E?
No, but that's really interesting.
There are literally rules for making a cryptid player character.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's great. That's so 2E. That's so on brand for Pathfinder. Well, that's a cool idea. We can think about that. Did you have a name?
No, but it was going to be a human.
Ooh, that's new for you.
Mm-hmm.
What? Drow playing a human?
I had to be the least expected person to be something fucked up.
Yeah. Kat,
Dang.
what about you? It feels like you had the most characters in this campaign.
Although I will argue that Alonzo and Eleanor were about as similar as it could be without being two versions of the same character.
Yeah.
They were both dex based, and Al was starting to get a little on the sneaky, but then use a gun, and then he died. And I had Eleanor, who was much more powerful at she was tankier.
Yeah, she
just
went
to
down
be realistic.
so much less than Al.
Mm-hmm.
She was meant, a swashbuckler is meant to be a front runner.
Yeah.
I did, however, before I learned about the concept that Drow was going to play, I had built a human cleric of Bry. I guarantee it would not have been played with the same 40k stuff as Drows. I don't have that experience. But when I was building Eleanor, I was stuck between that or a dwarf fighter. Just, as tanky as tanky can get without being like a champion. But I'm happy with what I played.
Very cool. Chester, Jacob Chester, I need to ask you. I already know that you were thrilled with how things were.
I love Chester. I don't think the only change I would have made is if we had played this game, 3 years later than we did. I would have used the remaster rules.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, playing as an alchemist with the investigator dedication may have been fun as well. But honestly, Chester just worked out so well.
Especially that last book.
Specifically in the last book, Chester really shined. I don't think I would have changed anything. I'm a little sad I didn't get to play my backup character because I had a goblin gunslinger, Uncle Ten Fingers Boomstick, who would have been a goblin with a big old handlebar mustache and would have spoke like this.
Oh, that would have been fun.
It would have been very fun. But I am thrilled with Chester, and I honestly don't think I'd have changed anything.
It's cool.
Only thing I would have changed is I would have loved to have experienced Rogue at higher levels.
Oh, yeah. Especially on the gear smoke. I would have been in his
It would have been so good to have been Alder in
his
that time.
Element?
Is there a place, you're talking about characters and things you could have played. Is there any place you wish you could have explored in the campaign? Something you wanted to do in Alkenstar, or some sort of like mystery lore thing that we didn't get to that you were interested in coming into it?
I would have liked to explore the mana wastes more. I feel as though there's an incredible amount of diversity that you could find in this little ecosystem. We found a one-of-a-kind alien there. I would love to see more of that shit.
The airship thing was cool. But really, in terms of mana waste, you only skimmed the little top off of it by flying through it and then having your little hike. And then you were in the Cradle of Corpse, which is in the mana waste, but it's also its own separate thing, right? So
I would have also liked more like mana waste weirdness, like the Mana Storm, mechanically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the way, and a lot of people have said this, the way the Mana Storm is written in Book 2 when you're on the airship, because it's basically just using the Wellspring table. And that's not fun.
I think that's very streamlined.
It is, but I think like the way they did it in the Gunworks, like having this is a transmutation storm. Your size category changes each round as the chance to change is way more interesting.
I think they were both fun. That's just it, because like a Mana Storm at one point doesn't have to be the same as a Mana Storm at a different point.
Yeah.
I think that they should have had an option to roll which type it was.
Yeah, well, I wish there was more stuff, because just the Wellspring table doesn't feel like it's enough. It's cool, but it's all over the place theme-wise. The transmutation thing is cool, but it'd be cool if there was like more things like that. You roll a type of storm. Each type of storm has a different series of effects.
Yes.
I would have liked it if other magic users could have suffered for being magic users.
Yeah.
Instead of all of their magic always working perfectly.
That was a choice.
No. That I don't.
No.
That's not against
They
Psych
should have.
here.
They should have made it happen.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because I know technically it was a choice by our DM to say any magic user has to have this archetype, but like the book
Should have written
never
it in.
had any of our enemies suffer like that.
No.
Yeah, you just
And
didn't run into a lot of spellcasters.
But like the ones we did run into were a pain in the butt.
Yep.
Yep.
Even Dewey like didn't suffer from being a spellcaster.
Nope.
Because he cast spells.
He suffered, but it was because of me.
It wasn't because
He
of
suffered for being
his spell casting.
Yeah, he suffered for being Dewey dipshit.
I actually
Yeah.
just recently listened to that episode.
So like it would have been nice to see the other people suffer from being a magic user in a place where magic is supposed to be unreliable, as heavy quotation marks.
Yeah, like Parsis didn't seem to struggle with it.
No.
Didn't.
What was his name?
Ebrium.
Ebrium didn't suffer with
Well,
it
you barely saw Ebrium do anything before you murdered his ass.
before we nuked him.
But he wouldn't have suffered for it. So that would have been nice. Other than that, like as far as locations are concerned, I feel like we hit kind of the biggest location in Alkenstar, which is the Gunworks.
Yeah, that is the big one.
And a Zeppelin ride.
Yep.
That was also
That was really cool.
pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like book 1 did a good job of taking you around the city a little bit. I felt like it could have done some more things, but really my only complaint with book 1 is Shoma Lysarius is a pretty poorly foreshadowed bad guy. And
Seriously.
you guys are
and he
right
leads nowhere.
that it basically should be flipped, where you fight Lysarius in chapter 1, you rob the bank at the end of the book.
Your reward for playing the book would be robbing the bank at the end. I
Yeah.
think would have been much better.
It made for a
But
cool opener, but it would have made a really good end to book 1.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. But yeah, Alkenstar is a cool place. My only complaint with the setting is it has been, I think I've said this before, it's been a number of different things at different points in time, and no one has really taken it and owned it and loved it and made it a thing like other parts of Galarian, where it has like strict canon.
yeah.
at least compared to places like in Avestan and like Varesia and the classic stuff, because in 1E it was kind of just this stub in the Inner Sea like world guide where like, this is where guns come from. It's from the Mana Waste. Isn't that kind of wacky? But no one ever did anything there.
It was really nice to explore that.
Yeah, it would definitely. But like, then there's that 1E module that has Alkenstar in it, and it has some information about it. And I'm pretty sure if you only played that, it would be kind of like nice in its own self-contained bubble. But there was never any catalog like 1E information about it. And then Outlaws of Alkenstar comes out, and it disagrees with that 1E module a little bit. But then the what was it, Lost Omens Impossible Lands comes out, and it disagrees with both of them. And so there's like lots of like inconsistencies. These are mostly like distances between places and stuff on the map in like the area of Alkenstar and the Mana Wastes. A lot of people have come and like done stuff with it, but no one has ever like owned it like other parts of Galarian. It feels like where this is my thing and I ran a lot of stuff in here and here's what it is. It's just the place that you can go to for guns. Oh, let's do a little thing over here, but no one's like done stuff with it. I feel like everyone who's gone through a lot of this adventure path has had to figure these things out.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if it was figured out, like play tested or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it is such a cool setting.
It's very unique.
And the way that you made it so that if any of us played a Magic user, that they had to go through the Wellspring Surge and all that, the unreliability it did something for my little plays less magical character's heart.
Yeah, it was fun.
It gave Magic stakes.
And it shows a cool part of the game that's mostly just martial focused and invention focused, which is, I thought it was cool. I thought they did a pretty good job in the campaign without it feeling stale in terms of enemy variety.
Yeah.
Like you do fight a lot of clockwork stuff, but that is not the only thing you fight.
And like Drow as Psycheer still had to deal with the disadvantages of the essentially Magic Surge.
Yeah.
It's just,
but also the
they
benefits.
roll good. And the benefits.
Where you could get spells back for free, basically.
You said it once, Psycheer was high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Well, looking back on the campaign, what would be your favorite moment? Give me some of your favorite moments of this long-ass, goofy campaign we done. I know cats.
Honestly, the mental...
Oh, it's whenever Al died, right?
The
Shut your face.
Visual of Chester shooting out the window, critically Ebrium, and the way I described it with a Menistorm lightning in the background as just like then Thunderbolt and Chester's outlined in the window. It feels very great. But honestly, some of the funniest things I look back on and when I listen to it, it's the undead nonsense in the Cradle of Quartz. You complain because it was just so long and annoying, but to me it was so funny.
3-action heal, 3-action harm,
rounds of 3-action heal. The ghost trying to hit Chester just gave me a good kick.
It was beautiful.
The first time you failed a 3-action heal spell.
That was the worst possible timing.
Yep.
You said, it's okay, I can take it, and then critically failed.
Yep.
It was so funny.
It's beautiful. I wouldn't change it for the world.
What about you, Kat? I'm pretty sure I know exactly what you're going to say.
Go ahead and give it a guess.
It's the airship.
Yeah. The only thing that can possibly come close to the airship was that I got the killing blow on Loveless.
Yeah.
Like the airship was my jam. My only complaint is we didn't have more airship time. Like I could have done an entire book on an airship and I would have been perfectly happy.
Oh yeah.
I loved the ballistas. I loved the fights up there. Best part ever.
Oh yeah. This is such a bop. I'm glad you got the killing blow on Loveless. That was great for your character. Drow, favorite campaign moment or moments?
I liked Psycheer's dreams.
Those were really cool.
Oh yeah.
You had a lot of fun writing those.
Yes.
Very atmospheric.
Did you like one of the ones I thought of was when you soloed the div in the bathhouse?
The thing is, I didn't.
You didn't?
No, he ran away and then got punched.
Well, he ran away, but he was on death's door when he ran away.
You had that thing on the ropes.
Yeah, he was not long for this world. You had one more round and you would have got him.
I do find it funny that for the first adventure path that I have completed, I had one attack in the final boss fight and then spent the entire rest of the fight essentially running away from it to disarm a bomb.
Yeah.
It worked.
It worked, though.
You know what's funny about that is that's actually not how the boss fight was supposed to go at all.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm going to
no.
peel back the veil here.
Really?
The way I was planning that episode to go is the first part of episode 106 was going to be you guys fight and have the final boss fight. But the way the book is set up is you have the final boss fight on the whole thing teetering and the bomb starts going away. And then after it, you have a chase mechanic scene where you have to get to the bomb and follow its track.
That's kind of great, though.
That didn't work the way the way I was doing it.
They
Yeah,
didn't
you're
expect
supposed to
you to be
chase-
riding on a missile with a cowboy hat.
Yeah, it was the way you did it was way funnier.
I learned from the Cyclops fight, if there's a bomb, I'm going to disarm it in the fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to risk us dying and it going off.
It's supposed to be after immediately you go chase it, like following it. There's like all these different obstacles and they're not very hard, but it was going to be basically we had the fight and then we had the chase and then we wrap up the campaign. But no, you start the fight and like I did all the narrative thing where the bomb falls to the floor and it starts doing that. You're like,
Nope. Jacob,
no.
Yeah.
So if you notice, I had a couple different checks where I was just basically I was watching it come through the different stages of this chase, and you had to deal with it ahead of time, like the crowd and all that.
I stuck with it.
Yeah.
if you had seen
sure
the
did.
plan, you would have known from the start that was not going to be the case because Jacob was determined
I mean,
stay
to
on
only
this
be on the
thing.
bomb.
it was the final boss fight. So I messaged them in our private chat where Derek's not allowed. I suppose we get rid of that now. And I was like, shoot, go invisible, disarm bomb. And I was like, are we good with this? And the group was, we're good with this. So that's what I did.
Yep.
And essentially, our two of our 3-person party soloed the final boss. I got one critical. It was a very good
It was a
critical.
good one.
I just can't
But
believe
still.
that because I scaled both of them up with the elite template.
You rolled really bad.
Yeah,
You rolled
and also
really bad
you
for
guys had
levels.
the drop on me. You shot and criticaled Ebrium and almost prevented him from casting a spell. Oh, the best I could do with him was delay Psycheer getting into the room by like 2 rounds. And that was it. That's literally all I could do. And then he died. Yeah, it's funny that there's a block in here because the whole gear smoke thing, there's like a ton of ways it can go sideways. It talks about how to run the final encounter and how it's balanced as a high end of severe threat. A lot of this final encounter hinges on the assumption that Ebrium activates his teleportation ritual as soon as the characters enter the area. If your characters have taken great efforts to hide their efforts from the adventure's villains or found some way to get the jump on them, this uninterruptible scene might seem far-fetched. The only reason I had him
Uninterruptible scene.
pull
Okay.
that teleportation thing off is because you killed his
girlfriend,
impersonated him, and then he went and found his girlfriend dead and went back up and's like, all right, we got to get this ready to go. We're under immediate threat. Oh, you know what? We should talk about stuff you missed.
He never found his girlfriend dead. She was in my bag.
Well, he found
the results
of
death.
the room. The fucking piles of glass under the rug.
We swept it under the
blood.
table. Thank
We
you very
cleaned.
much.
Thank you.
It was pretty obvious what happened. So I remember we were talking about how many episodes left we had when we were trying to figure out finishing the season. There was another one I thought we had planned because basically whenever Loveless and Ebrium figure out that you're on the boat, which can happen even if you're still very stealthy, because if you disarm or destroy the clockwork elephant or kill Ebrium's girlfriend, they know you're on the boat and that someone's after them. And so there's another event that we didn't even get to called Counterattack. This one I was actually looking forward to. This would have been a whole episode, but we didn't get to it because you guys figured out where they were and SEAL Team 6'd your way in there.
Yep.
Basically, you would have seen coming from where the shield marshals were a group of 3 shield marshals moving a box the size of a pyronite bomb,
Yeah.
like a huge crate. Like it would happen the next day. You went that night. So if you had slept, you would have seen this happen in the morning because they wanted to be in front of as many people as possible.
Make sure to lure us out.
They would have like slowly hauled it out from upstairs on the gear smoke, down the big stairs, all the way down to the dining room, through the passenger room, down to like the cargo crew area where the glass elephant was or something like that. I forget. They were like going to like haul this crate in public view as loudly as possible all the way down until you attacked or whatever. And if you attacked, there was a glass golem inside of it.
Oof.
Which would have been really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't happen because you attacked that night. But yeah, that would have added a whole nother episode. But they knew something was up. So I basically had it where Ibrahim was like, had everything ready to go at a moment's notice. And they were just like we either get there and we set this off. And if they show up, we fire the ritual off and we do the bomb faster. And you SEAL Team 6 your way in.
Oh, wonderful.
I did enjoy, so the way that top room worked, where there was like curtains in that door, there was an alarm set on the door that like they had to do a certain like knock on the window to get the shield marshal to disarm the alarm and let them in. Because if you set the alarm off, then those Gatling guns shoot at each other.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny that the shield marshal's running after you. And it's like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah, I love that.
Because they're all spooked and on edge.
I'm so glad we figured out going in through a window.
Yeah. Nothing in this book had the faintest idea of, hey, maybe they'll go on the side of the boat and go in through a window.
Listen, your party's only level 11 to 12. There's no way they can climb on a wall.
Fly or be invisible.
They really didn't count on an alchemist, huh?
Paizo consistently underestimates us.
You guys aced that because I thought it was going to be a tough final boss fight for all three of you at once. And it was just a 2-person thing in that boss fight. And for a couple rounds, it was all Eleanor.
Yeah.
Because you planned so well.
But she did go down because of it.
Yeah. Another encounter you missed here. There's actually a couple, but you, by some lucky break, whenever you started looking through the fancy rooms, missed Ibrahim's room.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't go in you didn't go any of the next quarters.
No.
You just found the like servant stuff, but then you went to the other side where all the other fancy rooms were. There were non-necks, and you went through each of them, but you missed Ibrahim's room by sheer luck.
Wait, where was Ibrahim's room?
Remember on the deck that was next to the entertainment deck, and there was like the servants' quarters, and the same player you fought, the Medusa.
Yeah.
There was 2 fancy rooms that you didn't open the doors for that were the next suites. One of them was Ibrahim's room.
Did we know about them or did I just forget about them?
You knew about them. You just didn't think they were worth opening because they were quarters. If you went in there, though, you would have fought 4 called glassed buccaneers.
Oh, I'm kind of glad we missed that then.
Because that would have been, they have guns. And that would have been a pain in the butt.
That may have messed some things up. Jeez, we just got really lucky.
You got really insanely lucky. Yeah, if not 4, there was 3 glass buccaneers. And let me show you some art of these because we never got to them.
Oh, but they're so cool looking.
Yeah, so they're like the clockwork buccaneers, but modified to be made out of like parts of glass.
What part of them are glass?
It's just like
Glass can be colored and less clear. It can be more opaque.
Uh-huh.
But they're fun. They have the same properties like the elephant where they're vulnerable to sonic and stuff.
That's fun.
But that would have been interesting. But yeah, you lucked out that you missed that. And you lucked out that, honestly, I feel like I put the pressure on you when you were trying to go places you shouldn't with the guards.
Yeah, you always made us roll. And we had to be stealthy or use invisibility potions or be disguised.
We just happened to succeed.
Yeah.
We also had a lot of spare cash and bought a lot of invisibility potions.
Yup.
Yeah, because I knew you guys weren't going to raid because you could raid all the luxury rooms and you could raid all the regular rooms and get like all this gold. And I was like, there's no way. If they didn't raid what's her fuck's apartment downtown, they're never going to do this. So
Tomb-end.
Yeah, Tomb-end suite. If you're not going to raid that, then I'll just give you and call it money from the vault that you raided.
We were actually good guys.
Can you imagine getting like 1,000 gold at like level 2?
Oh, man.
I can.
That would have been pretty amazing.
That would be pretty great. the gear smoke was such a open-ended thing. We were talking about this before we sat down to record. It's so open-ended, and there's so many ways to go do it. And I feel like for the most part, you guys kind of stuck to the things it anticipated, but you also did a lot of things that it did not anticipate, like using disguises to impersonate.
Which we probably shouldn't have done.
Well, I mean, Chester pulled that scroll out of his ass, and that was the most impactful one, I thought.
Yeah.
And when we had the effect that it shouldn't have worked, you had rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, so it doesn't really fucking matter anyway.
Kind of hard to take away your victory there.
It would have been different flavor-wise, but effectively the same as what happened.
Yeah, you guys just crushed it. I threw down the gauntlet. I was like, I told you, I was like, this is like subterfuge, and you guys got to prepare for it. Here's stuff to help you, but you got to figure it out. And kudos to all of you, IRL bottle caps, because I've run for a lot of tables, and players are always creative, but like a lot of times what I found out as a GM is that players, especially if you're like older and busier, you want like a on rails experience. Even if people say they want, open world or whatever, what they really want is something to follow and do without having to do a ton of thinking and creating.
Yeah.
But this was not that. This was a sandbox through and through, this last chapter, and you guys crushed it. Because I felt like chapter 1 and chapter 2 were all pretty linear in terms of the events like tying into each other, and it was fun. But this last chapter was pure sandbox, and you crushed it.
You told us subterfuge, and we understood the assignment.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess that can transition us. One of you, I see we have a list of questions you guys had, was asking what would have happened if we partially failed, leaving a bomb still active? How many rounds would we've had? Was there a piece regarding a TPK in Alken Falls? I don't know who asked this. Alken Falls being deleted from existence.
That was me.
Yeah, this is another thing I wanted to tell you about. So every adventure path has a continuing the campaign. So like this one has like a consequences of what happens afterwards, which we can also get into if you're interested. But then there's a future adventures you could do if you succeed. But then there's the what happens if the party fails. It's possible that the characters fail to stop Lovelace's plan, particularly if she triggers for bombs on the gear smoke before the party can defuse them. Even the utter destruction of the ship and characters along with it doesn't have to spell the end of the campaign. So basically, if you had gone and confronted Lovelace directly, now she doesn't come out, but if you had basically beelined it to Lovelace and fought her, triggers the detonator, you have a certain amount of time, and the book says you should be kind of lenient to go diffuse everything. But if you hadn't fought the Medusa or the glass elephant, that's like 2 combats plus the Loveless combat you have to resolve in this like span of minutes. So you'd be going back to back to back through these hard ass combats with no healing. Yeah. And if you'd taken 1 10-minute rest to refocus or treat wounds, boom, goes the Pyronite.
Yeah.
And you're dead. So like you have to be careful. They can be alerted like they were, but then they'll send out the counterattack thing. But it's also easy to just like, not get there in time. I gave you a little bit extra time, but you didn't end up needing it. You could have also like taken too long to do all these things, and they would have started trying to set it off. So like basically either the boat would blow up wherever it was, or would have blown up and destroyed Alken Falls, and Lovelace's plan more or less works. The asterisk for if you had died and you want to keep playing is you wake up in the mana wastes and Parsis has brought you back to life as clockwork amalgams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the adventure plans on Parsis living?
Let's see here. If Parsis didn't survive the campaign, then it was Ebrium who animated the corpses, encasing them in glass like grim trophies. Basically, it says...
Ebrium have brought us back?
I think it's supposed to be nebulous.
That's pretty nebulous, yeah.
But having Parsis bring everyone back would be cool.
Also like a fail state. This is how you continue from a failed adventure.
All this end of stuff isn't like very specific. It's basically, here's a broad picture painted that you as a GM will now have to go and figure out if you want to keep doing this.
Yeah, it transitioned to homebrew from there.
Yeah, and so it's basically you're still technically undead and you have to go fight Parsis or Ebrium, and basically they want to funnel you into going into Ironside Quarter, building up a rebellion, and taking down Lovelace that way.
Oh,
That would have been.
that would have been fun though.
You know what would have been really fun about that is even if you didn't bring back Chester himself, all my backup characters would have
Done that.
Would have been ready for it. The moment the boat blows up and Lovelace is made in charge of something, Chester's Ma or Uncle Ten Fingers Boomstick would have been like,
You could
"Chester's
play as
dead.
Mima.
It's time to kill."
Yeah, you had like the best possible
It
backup
would have been
going
like
on.
Unleash the Fury. Let's go.
Yep.
Chester's mom would have led the charge.
That's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, and so it's basically the first part is if you want to keep playing your characters, you wake up as these undead things in the mana waste, invent a reason why, Parsis, Ebrium, however you want to as a GM. First part is come back to real life instead of just being undead. And then
Yeah.
the second part is go to the Ironside Quarter, build your rebellion. Third part is take down Lovelace in this castle, basically.
That's pretty cool. I like that they give you that option.
Yeah.
What if Lovelace had died and the bombs went off?
Then it depends. If Lovelace had died and the bombs went off, I feel like you could call the campaign a mixed success. You prevented.
Does it give you an answer for that?
It doesn't.
Slack.
I don't think it does, but Lovelace can get away with Ebrium with teleportation pretty easily. But if Ebrium's dead or Lovelace can't do that and it blows up, it more or less just says, you successfully saved Alkenstar, but you die in the explosion.
Saved Alkenstar is a pretty hefty
Because it can blow up
statement.
before you get there.
What if it blowed up there and Lovelace had died?
Then it's more like a failure. But basically, if Lovelace isn't alive when it explodes at the waterfall, then her plan's not going to work because she's going to ride that you know the plot. We need to build an army. But you've already set in motion evidence against her with the commander of the gunworks because you succeeded there. So she's on a clock before she gets outed anyway. So if her plan doesn't work, people will see her as a villain. They'll see the explosion as her handiwork. So you've taken her down, but then you've destroyed this huge chunk of Alkenstar at the waterfall, and they have to recover from that. I think in that case, what I would do at least is Phoebe still gets her Inquisitor position and roots out the shield marshals, but Alkenstar is going to take a while to recover.
You could have even had a war start there because Alkenstar is weakened and either Nex or Geb could have attacked.
Yeah.
Or both.
But I don't think that's the scenario where you'd want to try to continue
But there are no
a campaign.
Wizard Kings right now.
And there's still people in charge.
But you don't really want to...
They're not the Wizard Kings, Nex and Geb.
You don't want to continue the campaign there because Lovelace is gone. You don't really have something to fight.
Yeah.
It's more just wrapping it up. The fun thing is, also in the back of the book is all right, well, your party won. Where do we go from here? If one of them you kind of found out is about Parsis. It's not necessarily going to Geb with Parsis to kill their father. But there's this option called the Bloodlord's Revenge, because this is assuming you kill Parsis. Upon Parsis's defeat, word of the matter eventually reaches their vampiric father, Dracar Fademore. Neutral evil, male vampire, overlord, 14.
Ooh.
Dracar bears only a distant love for Parsis, but he nonetheless ventures to Alkenstar to seek vengeance as a matter of honor.
Yeah.
The vampire and his 6 children, along with their pack of vampiric Yethhounds, establish a lair in the Ferris Quarters slaughterhouse from which they can torment all those involved in Parsis's death or downfall. And basically, let's see here. Dracar begins his campaign of terror by leaving talking severed heads at the gates of Alkenstar Castle to deliver a dire message. During tomorrow's first night of the full moon, Dracar's hunt will begin, starting with the Grand Duchess Rhyssia.
Sick.
So basically, you get to defend Rhyssia and the castle from all these different vampires coming to kill her.
That's kind of neat.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
And that's if we kill Parsis?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if you kill Parsis and you want to keep going after the campaign.
Well, I sure am glad we spared them.
Yeah.
Because now we get to go do the same thing.
Now
but
we
we're
get to go
attacking
do
the
them,
castle.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I was like, oh, dude, yeah, this is easy. Just flip it in reverse.
So let me ask you this, because this is a perfect moment. Did you already have Parsis connecting to Chester's backstory before we got there, or was that improv?
It wasn't improv. I had thought about it. basically, whenever the closer you got to Parsis, I was like, one of the things I need to wrap up in this campaign, closure-wise, is Chester's dad.
He didn't have to, but I appreciate it.
So, like, I was like, well, I don't want to say for sure whether or not he's alive because don't want to give your hand away. Got to leave it open-ended, right? But
That's the whole point of Chester's dad.
I think it's reasonable that Parsis would have seen, like, Chester's dad's hat could have been identifiable on a certain farm.
Yeah.
And Parsis could have been there in their travels. So, like, recognizing the hat and being like, hey, do you recognize, are you from this place? Or, you know, giving Chester a clue in Geb. Then I was like, that's what I was going to do. And then you sparing them, because I knew they were going to try to surrender, and I was going to throw that out there. But then the whole role play thing that happened with Saikir and everything being like, oh, well, if you want me to help bring your friend back, then we can go do this side quest thing. I was like, well, cool. Now we have like a reason for Chester to be invested to go on this journey too. And this is a nice little, you know, open-ended after the campaign little thing.
It turned out really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Parsis had died? How would we have found out about the boat?
The what?
How would we have found out about the boat? And the three
message
That's a
hidden
great-
in their journal.
That's a great question. And that's another like good adventure path writing part of this.
Oh? Is it better than just Phoebe somehow found out?
If the characters kill Parsis before the necromancer can reveal the final phase of the plan, the Parsis can learn the above information from Parsis's cranium preserver minion. Once the preserver is destroyed, or, you know, if you destroy it, the preserved heads in its body regain enough of their former minds to relay the information they know of Parsis to the characters.
Oh, man.
They had, the guy has backup of backup in here.
I like that. That's nice.
Very creative.
That's fucking disgusting.
The other option is if you wanted, there's another option for continuing the campaign in a different direction if you're not into the whole vampires and undead, which why wouldn't you be? This is a little bit more vague than that one, but it's about Ebrium. After vanquishing Ebrium, the characters discover a missive from a mysterious benefactor among his things. According to the missive, the benefactor sent Ebrium an enormous sum of money as part of the next stage of their grand plot. Ooh. This fortune of cold, hard cash, along with the details of how it should be used, now sits in Ebrium's personal vault in the town of Martel. Of course, the Grand Duchy has officially sealed the vault until further notice. The characters must stage a daring heist into the supposedly impervious twinned treasury. So basically, you break in to get into the building. It's got a lot of details about what that could be like.
Into this legal vault?
You know
not
how you guys
are.
are.
Not a criminal underlord?
Yeah.
As in, we're actually breaking the law for personal gain?
No, it's to get more information.
I want to break the law for personal gain.
But that's not been our whole thing.
Get this, though. To unlock the doors, disable traps in one building, the counterpart trap and door in the other building must be undone at the same time. Thus, to reach the bottom of the treasury and access Ebrium's vault, the party must infiltrate both sides of the structure at once. Accomplishing this feat requires at least 8 heist members to achieve all the various timed locks in unison.
It's Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
That's the reasoning is stupid, but that's pretty cool.
I think if it was me, I would move this to Nex and have
the bank in Nex. Oh yeah, that makes a lot
much more sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we could just go to the Grand Duchess and be like, hey, this is part of what happened. Let us in.
Luckily, the party has a wealth of Alkenstar contacts to draw from, including Farrah Winslow, Vivel Ramsley, and others. Though convincing everyone to take part in such a risky endeavor might not be easy.
That's
But to bring back
cool.
other NPCs would be really cool.
That's pretty cool.
I liked Vivel Ramsley.
The goblins in on it. We could have got Sweep Up in on it.
It would be really fun.
Bring back what's his face, the guy who became your first follower.
Jim.
Not Jim.
No.
That was the one who made
Kosawana?
Pyronite. Yes.
Kosawana. Bring back Kosawana.
After infiltrating the facility, disabling daily traps, and battling Clockwork Guardians, the characters at last breach Ebrium's vault. Inside, they find a pile of gold. Also, they learn that Ebrium's benefactor is an archlord of Nex named Kiamal, who possesses some of Nex's original writings detailing methods for teleporting huge objects. It was Kiamal who taught Ebrium how to teleport the gear smoke using latent magic from the mana wastes. And it seems that her plan this whole time was merely to use the ship as an initial test.
Oh, I liked it.
That's really neat.
In anticipation of this test success, she provided Ebrium with the construction diagrams, not yet knowing of his failure, for building vast teleportation stabilizers within Alkenstar. If her theories are correct, these stabilizers would be capable of transporting the entire city across the face of Galarian. No doubt troubled by these plans, and perhaps at the behest of Risia, the characters must journey to Quantium to confront Kiamal. The Archlord lives within a flying tower that randomly teleports throughout the city and leaves uninvited guests floating in the thin air. To access the tower, the characters will need to ingratiate themselves with Kiamal's monstrous associates, including a sphinx.
Are you having a good time, buddy?
So cool.
Jacob is geeking out over here.
Including a sphinx
Forget Chester's dad. Let's do this.
named Apatesh and a cackling noble named Uloshoko. I can't pronounce this shit. Each who possesses magical tokens, allowing them to safely visit the tower. Inside the tower, the characters battle Kiamal's many teleporting minions before confronting Kiamal herself, only to discover that their foe is a mere simulacrum. Oh, this is so cool, isn't it?
This is so incredibly cool.
The real Kiamal teleported to the Mana Waste shortly after Ebrium's demise. For years, she has delved ever deeper into Nexus' Book of Magic, mastering potent teleportation spells. Giddy with power, she intends to transport all of Alkenstar to the outskirts of Quantium, combining the two cities and eventually all other major cities of Galarian into one grand chimeric metropolis.
This is freaking
damn.
sweet.
This is level like 18 plus.
This is awesome.
So cool.
To save Alkenstar, the party must race through the city, dismantle her half-finished teleportation stabilizers, all the while battling extraplanar creatures, alien creatures magically transported into the city from every side and corner of the cosmos before finally defeating the evil Archlord.
Oh my
They
goodness.
Could just as easily expand Outlaws of Alkenstar into a bigger series by making that plot line
That could have been the next adventure path.
like part 2.
Like the Bloodlord's Revenge, if you kill Parsis and wanted to do more, is like,
That's neat.
that's like a book.
Yeah.
This is like
that.
3 books.
Yeah, this is awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, make us forget that and do it.
Hit me with the Matrix forgetting pin.
To Men in Black.
I can't.
Good try.
I don't do movies.
Good effort.
I haven't seen that one.
I gotta ask though. So I just
Do
read
you
a
want
bunch.
the red pill or the forget pill?
There you go.
Good Bill.
I just read a bunch of this stuff, and I've been talking a while. With how our campaign ended, open-ended, with you going to help Parsis, how do you think things will go? Obviously, we've kind of said we're not going to play it. We're not going to, make it a thing. At least not recorded. We might, if I ever got ambitious,
Yeah.
write it out. But that's a ton of homebrew work.
Yeah.
How do you think it would go?
We'd win. We'd find Chester's dad. We'd kill the vampire. We'd kill Parsis too.
We wouldn't kill Parsis.
No, we need Parsis to bring back out.
Because we hate Parsis, and Parsis is creepy and bad. And
I know they're creepy. Jesus.
We'd rescue Chester's dad, and we'd all live happily ever after.
I don't know. I think after Parsis genuinely held up their end of the deal of helping bring back Al, I don't think Eleanor would have killed them.
How
I think the
begrudgingly
slate
he
went
could live.
even there.
Chester would just have to make sure Parsis knows that he hates him.
I think Parsis realized that.
I'm pretty sure you said that in so many words.
I could make it clearer.
So, but like you take Chester's dad back to the
Goodbye,
farm.
Chester. I hate you.
I hate you. Shut up.
Shut
Goodbye. I don't ever want to see you again.
Jesus.
You're invited to my next
I'll see
birthday
you on
party.
Moon
Screw
Day.
you.
Could like
Every time they started talking at the last few cutscene or like in role play bits, you're just like, oh, shut up. You.
It's like, I'll have all of this wholesome, happy things happening, and then
yeah.
Mr. Creep starts talking.
You
Yeah.
hate Parsis like I hate your
Aaron.
Aaron,
You're right.
the
Yeah.
hand ringing chamberlain.
oh, I hate him too.
Greetings.
Oh, shut up, Aaron.
But had that continued, I would have loved to have seen Chester's mom and dad on a midnight glass elephant ride.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like a happy ending.
Yeah, like them
That's
riding
what
off into the moon
happened.
set.
I don't know.
Annie, what is
For
this
Chester,
damn thing?
happy ending.
Oh wait, I think I've said Chester's dad would sound like Hank Hill. Annie, what is this damn thing?
Yeah.
I would love to see something go wrong.
Oh, something could go wrong.
Someone become a vampire.
But then we'd fix it and there'd be a happy ending.
I would love to see
Robot vampire.
No, I'd love to see happy endings get ruined. We left off with Al and Eleanor kind of in a honeymoon stage. I would love to see
Al
one of
goes
them
on
get
this
turned into a
adventure
vampire.
At level 3, just
Yeah.
instantaneously wiped with negative energy.
Immediate from Psyche too.
No,
Fails the will save.
Not my precious baby boy. He's
Not
already died
again.
once.
That's so funny. I think that's all my questions for you guys. You guys got a lot of them written down here for me. Anything you want to?
I have a lot. Let me go through mine.
Okay.
What were through the vault? What were through the doors we didn't go into in the vault? We enter the area through the elevator.
You saw everything.
We did. So
Yeah.
there was actually nothing through the north and south doors.
Yeah, you explored all of the Vault of Secrets. The basically there was another door, and I think it was maybe on the map in Foundry, but it was a copy of what you would have seen.
Oh,
But it was
okay.
just normal offices from a different part of the Shield Marshals.
What was the Cyclops' idea with saying we were art critics? What was he hoping to accomplish?
yeah, what
He
the
was-
fuck was up with that?
He knew who y'all were. Mm-hmm. He knew that you should not be anywhere near Tumend because you'll probably pick up what Loveless is doing. And he was right. So he was trying to
Get us kicked out?
get you kicked out.
Throw us off our game.
Yeah.
By claiming
That we were experts?
Because if you guys failed your checks, you would have looked stupid and be like, who the fuck are you people? Why are you here?
could we have just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're mistaken. I'm not the art critic."
Yeah, it would have been a different check.
Okay, fair enough.
Jacob's
so instead we decided to go with the hardest one.
It would have been the same DC, just a different skill.
How did Parsis get Muglin's body?
That's a great question.
I see.
One of the way Parsis got to where they were is those skeletal crocodiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
They basically rode a barge where the skeletal crocodiles were under the water, actually pulling it in. And I think
Oh, that's neat.
because they don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
I just kind of had
Wouldn't
the
need to
thought
breathe
maybe
if
they
they
were
were
out
fish.
one night riding around and like they just
Fucking
discovered
found it?
Muglin's body washed up on
Disgusting.
the Ostrati and then brought it back.
Isn't the Hydro Forge at the top of the falls?
Don't think about it too hard.
Considered, not thought about. How did Loveless find out about us?
When?
How did Loveless know about our group? Like specifically who we were? Because the way Eleanor wasn't recognized,
Yeah.
but Psyche and Chester were. And we were really stealthy throughout a vast majority of this adventure, whether it was disguising ourselves or just killing anyone who saw us.
Destroy
How did
That's also
Loveless-
stealth.
Yes. How did Loveless know specifically who was coming after her?
Well, I mean, Muglin had an out for basically, so you had basically been involved in explosive stuff at the university and Muglin was trying to muscle you out.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the connection with the church as well, but he muscled Psyche out as well.
Yeah.
So Muglin knew about you two.
In the end, Psyche deserved it.
And Muglin knew about you two. And then obviously you got Muglin from the Gilded Gunners. And Loveless, I think, eventually came back and found out that you guys,
So the Gilded Gunners ratted on us.
well, they just said these people came here, bought him off, and killed him. And Loveless was like, great. And then Loveless probably already knew about Chester and Psyche from Muglin and like can put two and two together that you were doing this. And then it just kind of all falls into place when you look at what happened at the Gunworks, because that was part of the plot too. The Gunworks plot didn't go off. And so
Yeah.
now Loveless is like, someone's after me. And then shit starts going down to the gear smoke. She never would have found out about Parsis until, unless she had looked.
Yeah. Well, I meant like because the Cyclops knew to look for us specifically.
Yeah.
Which means Loveless knew to look for us specifically.
I think that's probably could be explained by what happened with Muglin at the end of book 2.
Fair enough.
How convincing was
Plus-
Psyche's disguise? How convincing was Virgil?
I didn't know how to run that because it's like the third chapter doesn't work if like you're having to make disguise checks to impersonate constantly every time you see a shield marshal.
Yeah.
I ruled it as there were 3 ways to get, or a couple different ways to get on the boat. You could get a ticket and impersonate a passenger and walk right on. You got a chicken and you made your check. And I was like, well, if you made your check to get on the boat, then your disguise must be good enough. If you can do it without the hat of disguise, your disguise must be good enough to where they don't constantly recognize you. And you only have to worry about going in areas that you shouldn't. So I ruled it like that. The other ways you could have gotten on the boat is if you'd gone in the back, you could try to sneak aboard it with the crane loading luggage.
Yeah.
That would have been funner, IMO.
Basically, if you'd gone back there would have been an encounter, which you skipped. And you could try to sneak in by hiding in a suitcase.
That would have been real
and if
funny.
you fail a stealth check, then the shield marshal will like stab it, and there's like a fortitude save. You barely take any damage because it's shield marshal.
Yeah.
Why would they stab luggage?
Because it looks suspicious,
Okay.
like someone's hiding in
Would
it.
have been like, so we would have gotten
And
in
they're also corrupt, so
the
don't care.
same way Max and Goofy get into the concert.
Exactly. And then you would have, instead of being in a room, you would have started out in the lower one of the cargo holds. I think it was the empty one you guys went into.
That would have been a little cooler, maybe.
Why did you make sleeping noises?
I'm not satisfied with how Loveless knew who we were, but I
You also had
understand
posters
it.
put up.
I know. Here's what I always thought about it. I figured we weren't the only people that Muglin and Loveless screwed over, so I thought we could like hide in a sea of faces. But you're right. There were wanted posters for us. So neat.
And I think Muglin and Loveless were a lot closer connected earlier on before Muglin started getting more desperate. And then Loveless kind of pulled away.
Okay. But the way you were talking, Loveless did go back for Muglin?
I think so.
Okay. Neat.
I think
it
it's a
seemed
good
like she
thread to
didn't
connect.
care.
Well, Muglin did a lot to help her plot, so.
Yeah, but it seemed like she was going to kill him.
Oh, yeah. She was the real big bad, in my opinion.
I think she would have killed him eventually, but I think she would want to kill him, not just let the Gilded Gunners own him, because he was a loose end.
How were we supposed to find out, or were we supposed to find out that Loveless was a changeling?
You never were. Loveless had his whole backstory thing, like all the, baddies do.
Loveless,
let's hear
I
about
never
Loveless's
expected to
backstory.
fight the typical changeling, because this is what changelings are supposed to do: disguise themselves as somebody and then take over a town or a city and get power that way.
Yeah, it's funny because most of it is like, I feel like you're avoiding eventually becoming a hag
Yeah.
or whatever. So Loveless got this. You want me to, I'll just read it because this whole backstory is wild and absolutely never would come up in the campaign. Technically, it was supposed to have me reveal some of this if you'd done more schmoozing and trying to learn things about the ship. But you guys fought things first and diffused things first and then did schmoozing.
Yeah.
We did, didn't we?
Ultimately. All right, here's her backstory. I'll just read it because it's great. This is at the end of the 3rd book. Decades ago, an Osirian paladin named Antarish and a river hag named Gree, or Gris, Gris, I think it's Gree. Gree Nightspittle fought a deadly battle inside a forgotten pharaoh's tomb. Both escaped from the conflict gravely injured, and after that day, the two became mortal enemies hell-bent on undoing the work of the other. After years of conflict, Gree eventually concocted a devious plan to bring Antarish to his knees. In the ruins of a flooded temple beneath a hunter's moon, Gree gave birth to a changeling infant and left the child on Antarish's doorstep. Gree knew the foolish Antarish and his weakness would care for the cursed babe. Even though he suspected Gree was tied to the child, Antarish played right into the hag's plot. He named the infant Angelique and served as her father and mentor, raising her to follow a virtuous path in spite of her wretched heritage.
Way to fucking go, Antarish.
Yet for all
think he
Antarish's
failed.
noble efforts, Angelique possessed a cruel disposition and a wicked temper. When she came of age, Gree approached the young woman in the dead of the night and revealed the truth of her birth. Gree then commanded Angelique to kill her adopted father and join the hag's side. To Gree's surprise, Angelique refused her mother's grim commandment. In a rage, Gree gathered her most powerful minions and finally slew Antarish, overwhelming the paladin while Angelique was away. When she discovered her father had been slain, Angelique recovered his holy sword and set out to find Gree. The cunning hag thought Angelique had finally given in to her evil birthright and returned home, but instead she avenged her parent by soaking his sword in Gree's blood, claiming the hag's blackwood staff.
Did she turn the sword into the pistol and then the hag thing into the rifle?
After fulfilling her vendetta, Angelique wandered through the world alone, aimless in search of meaning. Although she constantly carries Antarish's virtuous words in her thoughts, her troubled past and cursed birthright cast an unholy pall across her mind. Finally, Angelique resolved to walk a righteous path in the name of her father by joining Alkenstar's shield marshals. She commissioned the Grand Duchy's best gunsmith to forge Antarish's blade into the enchanted silver pistol and Gree's staff into a magical long gun. There you go.
When you mentioned she was a changeling, the hag gun stood out to me, but the holy pistol had me confused.
Yep. For nearly a century, Angelique brought law and order to the wilderness around Alkenstar. Yeah, she's an elf. Changeling. The long years wore on her, however, and slowly she lost touch with the short-lived humans that surrounded her. Now she's torn between upholding the lawful ideals and dealing out bloody punishment to those she deems unworthy. Her silver pistol still possesses some of Antarish's grace and frequently misfires whenever she attempts to use it for an evil act.
That would have come into play in the fight if she had used it, huh?
None of you are good aligned. So I don't think it mechanically would have.
Well, I mean, it's still an evil act, even if we're not evil.
Just shut up. Often while away from prying eyes, she will draw the pistol on her captured fugitives and fire, allowing the gun to decide if the person is worthy of life. Angelique's primary motivation is power. As an elf, she has been a shield marshal for nearly a century and has outlived her original peers. Because of her lengthy tenure and ruthless pursuit of her own brand of justice, few question her continued presence on the force. Angelique has spent years advocating for a larger Alkenstari army, though she has made little progress on this front until just recently. She believes that by arranging a series of disasters, she can shock the city's political elite into action. By way of this scheme, Angelique hopes to disgrace the current Shield Marshal command structure while simultaneously rising through the ranks to assume control of a new army of conscripted Shield Marshals. Ultimately, she wants to use this army to bring order to the lawless frontier beyond Alkenstar's walls, which she believes is what Antarish would have wanted.
What a wonderful backstory.
You guys, never would have run into any of this.
She's so much cooler than the story makes her out to be.
That's a pretty nice conflicted backstory.
Yeah, but there's no way to make this show up IMO.
So what is she lawful? What was because they did alignment? Is she lawful evil?
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish that I would have used contact spirits. We could have talked to Antarish.
Yeah.
We would have had to known about him first.
It's something about spirits in the area. I believe that he would have chosen to stick around his gun and his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but now you have both the guns. That fucking Hex rifle is sick as fuck.
If I
Hex blaster.
If I ever get to play as Chester again, I want to have fun with that gun.
That's a good gun. That's like right up your alley too.
You let me use that gun, you never will see me again.
Antarish and Grease together forever in hate.
Mm-hmm.
In hate.
Yeah,
that's a really good, because it also makes her out to a bit like Handsome Jack. She thinks what she is doing is the right thing.
Yeah, which is the crazy part. But there's no way for it to come up because she's very elusive the whole campaign.
And she's also hella old.
Yeah.
So that information gets lost to time.
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, one of the thing in terms of the consequences of this campaign, one of the most significant consequences of the campaign hinges on the fate of Gattleby's Pyronite formula, which had fallen into the hands of Lovelace, Ibrahim, Parsis, Muglin, Kosawana,
what would happen
others.
if it got distributed like she was going to do?
Basically, that's kind of what ends up happening, I think.
Okay.
If the characters had apprehended all the major villains which have access to the formula, the Duchess's fortress were able to capture all the remaining criminals who knew the formula. Hibbity-habbity. It's secret for a while, but I think eventually it's just going to get out.
I mean, the government knows it now, so it's going to get out regardless.
Yeah.
Can't trust the government.
Basically, it's more likely, however, that the secret for Pyronite does escape out into the world either either during the campaign or shortly after in this case. I think technically you got everyone and it would be up to you. But I think it's been too many different places with Kosawana and all this stuff.
Listen, Kosawana's not going to rat. Listen, this is Chester's now.
Yeah. And you have it, and like it's just inevitable till it gets out, just in my opinion, as the GM.
Yeah.
Next, which develops units of flying apes capable of bombarding enemies with pyronite from the sky.
Yeah.
Geb, which creates legions of quickened zombie sappers strapped with pyronite to devastate enemy fortifications.
Yeah.
Luckily, as Recia predicted, the even distribution of this formula means the nations maintain an uneasy stalemate. Soon the secret of pyronite spreads farther afield to Kadira, Osirion, and Absalom, changing the world forever. However, the new demand for pyronite creates a sudden rush to the spell-scarred desert, which contains deposits of the special white salt to stabilize the potent explosive. Found nowhere else in Galarian. Overnight, a horde of adventurers and prospectors flock to the region to harvest the salt and sell it to alchemists in distant lands for a massive profit. Bidding wars erupt over guides and gunslingers from Alkenstar who know how to navigate the strange wasteland and find the salt deposits. It's like Chester's mom.
So we need to kill Chester and Kosawana and Gattleby.
The government probably has this too. It's okay. We're fine.
But more,
I think that we could kill the Duchess and Gattleby. I think that I can control Kosawana, and I think that
Chester would never tell.
I think that Psyche will just keep
Wink.
an eye on
Close
you.
eye on Chester.
if
yes.
you made an effort and you didn't want it to spread, I think I would respect it. But I feel like there's so much pyronite that's been made, because technically also the people made it at the gunworks
Oh yeah, the people
too.
at the tower.
Yeah.
If any of them are still alive, they would know.
They would have. They
Yeah.
were smart enough. They would have
We'd
figured it out.
or left notes
Just
somewhere.
have to. The greater good. The greater good.
Or the greater good.
But basically, all these like things in the mana waste suddenly have a lot more cash with all these people flocking to it. So mutants and outlaws in the mana waste have more potential to become a threat.
A good financial boon for Alkenstar, really.
Yeah.
Truly.
Not
That would be
gonna
the
lie.
worst possible thing that could happen to Psyche's family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
But like we didn't really cover that as much because it wasn't really relevant to our part of the story at that point. Yeah. You got any other questions? I see some more in this list.
Well, one of them we don't know the answer to yet. We suspect we know.
Oh?
The fight that TPK'd the other person's party?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we'll know when
Cyclops
we
fight.
record it, but I'm pretty sure I know it's the Cyclops fight.
Yeah.
Which is incredible because we handled that really easily.
The best I can guess is the Cyclops' ability kicked their butt,
yeah.
and then they didn't get the bomb disarmed quickly enough,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was the number one thing that Chester did in that fight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And what would have happened if we didn't get past the Leadsmith fight? Oh, that fight.
Yeah. If that fight had been our end, what would have happened? Like, how would the story have gone from there?
The one on the gunworks.
Yeah. If the bomb had gone off on the gunworks, how would it have gone from there? Because
And we died?
probably would have died, or at least lost a party member or two.
I don't think you would have died because that bomb was so much smaller than the
Wasn't it like 10D something?
it was a lot. It was nothing to sneeze at, but
In
like
100-foot radius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
it would
couldn't
have-
escape that.
After having had a fight, you very well could have lost multiple characters to that.
yeah. 20d6 fire damage and 100 feet. So 20d6 is going to average out to 60 damage.
Which after a fight could have been big.
What happened to the other bombs?
DC 29 basic reflex save.
The government took them.
Yeah, confiscated.
Okay.
But basically, if it had blown up, I don't think it would have killed you, or at least it wouldn't have killed all of you, especially not Eleanor. I feel like Eleanor at that point could have made that save, and then you would have taken no damage.
Oh.
Basically, instead of firing it, if it blew up, you would have had to fight some ogre warriors. But it specifically says, listen, your guys just fought this super hard fight. This isn't meant to be tough. So like they're creature 3. You would have slaughtered these ogres
Oh, yeah.
as they came in. A lot more people would have been dead if the bomb went off, because then the ogres would have gone and gotten killing other people.
Fair enough.
You might not have gotten as much stuff from Loy Aiton, but like people might have died. Dante the Stripper might have died.
No.
Good consequence.
That would have broken Drow's heart.
But ultimately, the assault was doomed from the beginning, so you would have slaughtered the ogres.
Okay.
But more people would have died. But you did great. You disarmed the bomb and you kicked the pants off of Vuslog.
Yeah, I was just curious if that would have been like an end point or not.
And Chester never got big. Or small.
Habbity.
What's going to happen in the future with the 13th Ordinal?
The 13th Ordinal?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what's up with Yog-Sothoth?
Well, that whole thing was that like, there was that like being that like led people astray. There was a certain type of being that likes to do that. And it got Yog-Sothoth's attention. It was like, hey, you don't do time stuff. And it killed them. And then it led a bunch of other people there. And because the dog was hanging around to make sure people didn't go there, it killed them. I don't think like there was any truth behind it ever. I think it was just...
It was just Yog-Sothoth worship.
Yeah, well, there was that guy that was trying to subvert, and then they made claims about this thing affecting time, and unintentionally they're bragging they caught Yog-Sothoth's like distant attention, and it was not good. So ultimately, it was a heresy all the way through. My only complaint, one of the things that is not player facing that I feel like is poorly written, I think we talked about this in the end of Ketchin Up book 2. Is how Kosawana figured out how to reverse engineer the thing. Because in my mind, it's like, well, if this smart guy can figure it out, that's not good because then other people can figure it out. But the explanation for why Kosawana figured it out, it was Yog-Sothoth told him how and he didn't realize it.
Oh.
Weak.
Which is stupid. But like, I was like upset about it, but then it never mattered.
Yog-Sothoth too.
It never mattered for you guys.
Because now he knows.
Well, yeah, he can know. It's fine. He's a god.
We're just going to have to kill Yog-Sothoth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for you guys' questions, right? Do you have any other last ones here?
Not me.
Who was your favorite character and why was it Psyche?
I don't know. I like all the characters. I thought all of y'all characters were really good.
Who was your favorite NPC? That one's a less loaded question.
Oh, man. Gattleby was really fun.
Yeah.
Gattleby was fun. Having Farrah be drunk was always fun. Des Drakes being a sexy motherfucker was always fun. Parsis just getting under Jacob's skin.
Fucking skin.
I love
yeah.
hitting Parsis.
Gomax energy.
Gomac was great. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good ones. Phoebe was fine. Phoebe being exasperated by Chester's stupid antics was fun.
Also fun, yeah.
I don't know. Recency bias is coming in here, but I really liked just making Psyche here interested in Parsis and making Jacob so angry. That was very satisfying to do.
It was very fun.
It was also fun that one little bit of roleplay I got to do as Ebrium, where I just made you guys upset that he sounded like, hey,
like so cool.
So
just
cool.
So
cool.
cool.
You shut up. Yeah, all of those were great. Loved all of those. Let's see, what would a favorite fight be that ties into that as a GM? I was exasperated in that final boss fight. That was not my favorite. I was ready for it. It was the Parsis fight. That boss fight was great for me.
That was a fun boss fight.
That was incredible. The set dressing, the wheel spinning, the not having to navigate 3 maps because one of your characters is riding a bomb. That was great. I hated the dog fight. The Muglin thing was dumb, although the bringing him back as a zombie was fun.
That was cool.
Didn't really care for the Shoma fight, even though it was tragic. I was super thrilled about the Clockwork Sphinx, and then you kicked its ass.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where I was excited for something, and then you kicked its ass. The Parsis thing was about as hard as I thought it would be.
I'm really, really glad we slept.
Yeah.
Dear God, I'm glad we slept.
Oh my goodness, yes.
The Clockwork Puppeteer was about as hard as I thought it was going to be, because it didn't end up hurting you too bad, but it was this close from being horrible.
Yeah.
And I think we all realized that in combat how close we were.
Yeah. I remember reading through the graveyard thread, because they don't have as many of these for adventure paths nowadays, but I was looking ahead to see what killed things, and that one was that one came up. But yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
I'm quite satisfied.
All right. Well, then we're going to
Go into the future.
go into the future. Who knows where we'll be, and hopefully have questions from the listeners.
No, Sakir, what are you doing?
Remember, one action, get all puffy.
And it's us from the future. From the distant year 2025. Actually, by the time they listen to this, we'll be in the past.
Past us?
Mm-hmm. but only a few days in the past,
Gotta
probably.
get back to
Samurai Jack.
Back to the pasture.
Back to the piss. That's great. We're having a day. It's so hot here.
Miserably.
It's so...
I think it's the hottest day this season.
Yeah.
And it's been a hot season.
Yeah, it's miserable. We just went to McDonald's. I don't know why we're doing another banter opener for the thing that we've already opened before, but we just went to McDonald's and now we're full of grease and also hot.
Full
It
of
is
grease
currently
and salt and gross.
96 degrees and it feels like 106 with a humidity of
With a humidity
48%.
of a lot.
That's not that bad. The other night, I was out at my friend Travis's farm, and it was late at night and 76 degrees with a dew point of 76 degrees.
Yeah,
so
no.
it was 100% humidity. It was awful and terrible. Not a fan. Very hot. But we have a lot of listener questions. This is actually a special moment for all of us because this is, I think, the last time we're going to sit in front of these microphones.
It's weird.
I mean, I use these microphones to stream, so
Well,
You have your own microphone.
It's different than all the four of us
it's the
together.
Wii. It's the Wii.
It's the
Wii U?
microphone arms.
The
It's
Wii U.
It's the laptop. It's the headphones. It's the everything. I'm ignoring your bad jokes.
it's
Because
the way it should be.
yeah, it was about a year ago that
Going out
we
strong.
finished the adventure path in terms of recording it, and then we've been producing it for the past year. But even now, like I remember finishing the season's finale, and then I remember the day it went out. It was already like queued up, and I was just like up at midnight. I was like, oh crap, the show's finale is out. Whoops.
Oh my.
And then now it's like we've done a bonus banter since then, and then we've done the first part of this catching up earlier, but this is it. This is the last thing we have to do. It feels weird, and I'm going to get really sad.
It's bittersweet.
Aw.
Now I'm
Yep.
just now thinking maybe we should have re-listened to the first part of this catching up.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
at
You
least
did.
there's
That's
that.
important.
So you can stop us if we start reiterating things we've already said.
I'll try. But I did, and I already looked through some of these questions. I think the things we talked about are a little different than what they ask, as will be made clear soon. Because these aren't also all just about the season itself. This is also like looking back on the show too.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how. I don't want to get too sappy, at least not yet, or too distracted yet. So I'm just going to kick it off with some listener questions. We have 14 submissions.
God damn.
Oh, so we're gonna be here for a bit then.
Maybe. Not all of them are as
In depth.
discussion provoking as others. The first one is, and we got a series from this individual from Sam in Poland.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Have you found a better name than the 5 Under 4 Company? No.
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 Next question. I can't think of a better one.
I will say 504 is delightful as a legitimate name for a company. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're looking at names of groups, we did play a bit of Forbidden Lands, and the tag of the group was Short People and Dogs. And that one
Yeah.
I will always remember.
Yeah, because
That's a good
everyone
one,
was a halfling, a dwarf, or a
Wolfkin.
Yeah. 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 That was a good
Short
one.
people are dogs.
Short People and Dog. That's still the name of a Discord server.
It's still the name of the Discord server. Mark.
I can't, if a non-podcast ones other than that, I can't think of anything else. What was it? The podcast was Friend Makers, Intrepid Inc.,
We only named
Micah's Angels.
Micah's Angels.
we only
yeah.
named groups when we're doing the podcast. I named my homebrew guys group, but it wasn't like an official in the world name. I just called them the Hawthorne Buddies.
I thought, yeah.
And you did that
I made the Teletubby.
terribly edited Teletubbies thing.
Oh my God.
Author buddies.
Oh, the buddies. I did one for when we played Tomb of Annihilation in D&D. I don't remember naming the group, but I did a stupid meme. It was like cats.
Thunder
what was
that
it?
rumbles ground.
What was the character race for
Thunder
that?
that rumbles ground.
It wasn't catfolk. It was Tabaxi.
Tabaxi.
Yeah, Tabaxi.
Tabaxi Barbarian. It was just a like buff Khajiit in like the Skyrim character creation menu.
Yeah.
You were basically, Jacob was like Pigpen because you were a
nasty druid, mushroom
fungus
druid.
wizard.
Yeah.
You, Drow, I can't remember if I just had your art or just like photoshopped horns on top of Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I was playing Britney Bali.
Yep. I don't remember what I did for Micah, but it was also dumb. Oh, and then a friend of the show, Dane, was playing a turtle person wizard, and I just had Oogway.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember the name of it, but I think I like had these shitty photoshops on top of like a jungle background, and then some PowerPoint text over the top.
Want to see Michelle?
Yeah. That was Dane's
Michelle?
joke. That was his joke.
Bing.
All right. Next question, also from Sam in Poland.
Hey.
Probably the most obvious question. What other game systems have you considered for the podcast?
Okay, I've got a few.
And
what
would each of you personally love to play next? Thank you, Sam.
So at one point we toyed around with the idea of Derek not being the only one who DM'd, because there were a few games that I wanted to play, but I also knew more about them, so I would run them. So I considered Monster of the Week, Delta Green, Avatar, the new one that came out. Well, it was new when it came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
So there was another one.
Everything is
Fallout.
new whenever they come out.
The tabletop RPG for the one based on Fallout 4, basically. So those were ones I considered.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and spoil a little bit. Before we decided on Pathfinder, the primary contender for this season was going to be the Scum and Villainy game by the Forged in the Dark game. So it's similar to like Blades in the Dark, but it's more sci-fi. That was the primary contender. We were actually I got the book and we were starting to look at it. And then Paizo dropped or announced like Outlaws of Alkenstar, and we were like, well,
Yep.
this is what we're doing. So it was the next in line. I know we talked about Starfinder a little bit. We never committed. Once we started season 3, we never really committed or did a ton of homework. There was just ideas.
Rest in peace, Starfinder.
Oh, we'll probably play Starfinder on our personal time, especially now that Starfinder 2e is going to have an official Warframe module.
Starfinder. That was that.
It's Starfinder.
I thought it was Pathfinder. Okay.
What?
Is it Starfinder or Pathfinder?
It's Starfinder 2e,
Okay.
but Starfinder 2e is compatible with Pathfinder 2e.
I assumed it was Pathfinder 2e. I was just wrong.
Yeah. So the Starfinder was on the docket, but I don't know if I would have done that because we just did a Paizo game and it would have been pretty similar, even if it is sci-fi. The thing is, all right, if you want some like inside baseball for how we pick games for a season, the main thing is like what we want to play.
Yep.
But also as a content creator, I'm looking out there at like what does and doesn't have good actual plays. And this is why Witcher and Forbidden Lands work so well for us. There were some Forbidden Lands actual plays, but I don't think no one did it the way I wanted to do it. So the whole show got its start from New Game Who Dis by Glass Cannon, but they would just do one shots. So like 4 episodes effectively of
3 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. First episode, make characters. And then the next handful would just be playing a beginner box effectively of whatever game it was. I was like, this is cool. I would rather have us do the homework off air and do the learning in the first few episodes and then do like a mid-length, 20 episode run so that we get stuck into it, but don't make it the whole thing we do. And so we picked Forbidden Lands because it had been on my shelf. It looked really cool. And there wasn't a lot of other people playing it to my satisfactions. Like I looked at it as I'm running this game. Has anyone else put out good content that helps me run it? So I didn't find anything I liked at the time. This is like 4 years ago. And that's why we did it. And then same thing with The Witcher. There was like a bunch of like well-produced, like effectively one-shots, just dabbling in it with pre-made characters. But I didn't find anything at the time that had like shown off the system. I ended up finding 1 or 2 other things, but that's why I think we did really good in The Witcher because we gave it a really fair shot.
And even the ones you found in The Witcher, they played it differently than we did.
They did, yeah. So I feel like we did it justice. We taught people how to play it, and we had a pre-made adventure thing to run it that was fairly new at the time too. So
Yeah.
with the kind of mistake we made with Pathfinder 2e is there's a lot of really good shows playing Pathfinder 2e. The main thing is we were big Pathfinder lovers, but we'd never played 2e.
And we really wanted to play it.
And then Outlaws came out. Yeah, so we shouldn't have played as a content thing. We shouldn't have played through all of Outlaws of Alkenstar because it got us too stale. I think if we had stopped after the first book, not in terms of narrative, obviously Al died. That would be a terrible place to stop.
Yeah.
But like in terms of trying to make content that people are interested in, I think if we had stopped after the first book effectively and done something else, That would have fulfilled the goal a lot better, scooped up people who are interested in Pathfinder, and then we would have done something else new to keep it going. I kind of hoped that our love for Outlaws of Alkenstar and the steampunk thing would set us apart, and I think it did, but to a niche that isn't very big. And then the problem is we played it for effectively 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
And so at some points we were bored of it because we're also making a show of it and we're playing it really slow.
I was bored.
No, not necessarily the game, producing it.
Yeah.
No, the game itself is choice.
There was too much story.
Yeah, for the show. And this is
For the
not
show, yes.
like separate what's fun to play as TTRPG players from what's good content to make for a podcast, right? As TTRPG players, I love Pathfinder 2e. I love playing Outlaws of Alkenstar. It was a lot of fun. I would have run it for us like outside of this. As the show, past 30-something episodes, I think we overstayed our welcome in terms of like if we were trying to get more listeners and stay engaging and make content interesting, because like everything got very formulaic for me after that, and it was hard to keep making the show interesting. And if I'm having trouble making the show interesting, then it's hard to pull people in midway through. Yeah. So that's kind of what kept the weekly show interesting and fun to make, is changing the games. It was a lot of work, but like changing the games, getting to do new assets and art and like storytelling stuff on the podcast, that was fun. But making 106 episodes of the same kind of vibe gets very boring.
Yeah. It's also half the reason why if we didn't do 2E for our third season, we didn't plan on Blades in the Dark.
No.
Because GCP and other people had already done fantastic Blades in the Dark shows.
Exactly.
And also because it was hitting kind of, not exactly, but similar to the same vibe we'd already done.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fantasy.
Exactly. I love Blades in the Dark, and I would want to play it like for us, but there was no point in for us to make a season about it. Because like I think our core listeners would have loved it. We would have loved it, but like you can't just make the thing other people make, but you do it. You have to make something unique.
Yeah. It has to be new.
Yeah. And that's why we struggled with making 2E, because we had a better identity and people latched on to us in terms of growing an audience when we were trying new things, because there's not a lot of people back then that were doing that. But yeah, this is also why we were looking at Scum and Villainy, similar system, but sci-fi. And we had done 2 fantasy things back to back, and we wanted to switch up the vibe a little bit. But again, we wouldn't have committed that long to it. So if some of the audience didn't like sci-fi, then the next game that comes along might be interesting to them.
But back to the original question.
Yeah.
Drow, you looked excited. What was something you wanted to play?
This wouldn't have happened because it didn't exist until
just recently?
Like last week.
Yeah.
Official Paizo and Warframe crossover. They're doing not an adventure, but like a module. In Starfinder, is it 2nd edition?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool. Warframe official Starfinder module.
Who knows? If it goes well, maybe they'll make more.
If it goes well, maybe they'll make more.
Because Starfinder 2e is like launching this week or something at Gen Con.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It's brand new. Like they've had the playtest, I think, for a year or so, but 2e for Starfinder is coming out at Gen Con, basically.
It was so good I was watching the TennoCon stream. I was in the TennoCon relay. I was talking with my Tenno friends. We were there. We were all there for Warframe. All of a sudden, Rebecca Ford drops the name Paizo, and I'm like, I know him!
John Paizo.
John Paizo! I know him!
Jason Paizo.
I've actually rated Jason Bullman a few times on Twitch.
Nice.
With Hans.
And then Kat. I know there's been a few games you wanted to play that we haven't ever played before. Yes, there is. You've always... Okay, I'm going to take your turn because you won't answer. You've wanted to play Monster of the Week.
Well, yeah, I did.
You're also very interested in playing Avatar, especially because we own it.
Yeah. I just didn't have... I liked the idea of Monster of the Week because it didn't... I'm not into the horror vibe as much as Jacob is. So that one would have been a little bit more on my wavelength than some of the other ones y'all were talking about. Yes, I would have looked forward to playing a bending character in the Avatar universe, or a non-bender, just to be my, John Human Man self.
John Human.
John Human.
But I was more or less ready to just roll with it. Y'all were the ones who were the most picky. I've always just been a little bit along for the ride. Like, no, I just want to play Forbidden Lands again. I like the system.
Yeah.
It's a fun system. It's simple.
I like the simplicity.
Oh, there we go. I forgot the one I didn't mention. I wasn't certain I wanted to play this one, but I own one called Deathmatch Island, which is based off of all the Battle Royale type media out there.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I don't know much. I still don't know much about it, but it was at least on my radar.
Yeah. I feel like I should go in a different way because mentioned Scum and Villainy. That was the main one we would have done instead of this season. And it was the primary candidate for a season 4 for a while. But there were others. I did really, part of me really wanted to run. I mean, sorry, there's two answers. There's what would have been a good extra season for the show and what would I have really wanted to run. For the show, D&D 4E, I think, would have made sense in a certain way. There is a negligible, a substantial amount of people who are fed up with 5e and new 5e that have gone back to D&D 4e and are pretty active. Not a lot, but see, this is the thing I'm looking for as a podcaster, an underserved, very active audience. And I haven't done enough homework. I know that there are D&D 4e podcasts, but here's the thing. Some of them might be old from when D&D 4e was still a thing.
Yeah.
So that one was really on my radar, not just because my fascination with it. I think we've talked about it forever ago, how I've been collecting D&D 4e books.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Of my fascination with it. Not just because of that, but noticing that this audience, I don't think, at least last I looked, they had a lot of current, being updated, good content. And there were more people getting into it. So there's an opportunity for a show that gets into it and shows you how to play it. So that's the podcaster in me's answer. Obviously Scum and Villainy, but I'd have to reevaluate where that one is too. Derek the player is very different. Derek the player or GM would also like to run 4E, but I would probably also like to run like Starfinder like 1E or Pathfinder 1E because I just haven't been able to chew on those games enough. Or Forbidden Lands again, but in a different chunk of the world. None of those things make sense for this show. There's so many good 1E shows. There's some really good Starfinder 1E shows. And we have literally done Forbidden Lands.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't mention
that to me,
Steam?
The pure Steam for Pathfinder 1E, that falls into the Pathfinder 1E category because like anything's up for grabs. And like super doesn't make sense for this show because we just did a steampunk thing.
Yeah.
True that.
But that's my split brainedness on this. There's a lot of games I still want to run and try. Oh, friend of the show, first time mentioning, etc. Micah is literally just kicking off a Forbidden Lands game. Yeah! I think they're doing session 0 like this weekend as we're recording.
That's fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember listening to you, like the one-sided conversation of Jacob coaching and the pauses I knew with explanations were probably Derek.
Yep. Yep. That's me.
Not Micah, Derek
As
pauses.
we just spewed about Forbidden Lands to Micah.
Yeah.
It was a good
You should have
call.
seen the look on Jacob's
I was
face.
also
He got
there
excited.
on the
Yeah.
other side of that.
Yep.
With
Listening.
Derek.
I wasn't in the conversation. I was just listening.
Yeah.
I was just in the bedroom as he was talking.
Yeah, like I
Yes.
was. Yeah. Then you heard the Jacob pauses.
I did.
As we bullied Micah into accepting Forbidden Lands.
Yeah, Micah is so funny because he
So funny you say, like dripping tears of anger. Mike is
sometimes
so funny.
we know what he actually needs, and it's a matter of convincing him not that it's what he actually needs,
I cannot wait for Micah to listen to
but
this.
getting for him
In 10 years.
Yeah, really. Convincing him to convince himself that that's what it needs. What
Micah's
he
going
needs.
to call you and be, first of all, screw you.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you're free to call me, Micah. I'll accept it. You'll have to remind me about this conversation.
He's going to have clips.
Yep.
He's going to be able to send us like a snip from YouTube. So first and foremost,
Yep.
middle finger emoji.
How dare.
Micah had the gall when he started getting into GMing earlier this year.
Yes,
to be
let's
like,
drag him.
Oh yeah, he was like, I like Pathfinder, but 5e's it's been really fun to run. It's a lot more narrative focused game. I'm like, Micah, you have
boy.
no idea what you're fucking talking
Oh
about.
boy.
5e is a player's game, and the GM gets like a roll of duct tape and some toothpicks and like, here, make your game work, bitch. I'm like, narrative games don't have rules for 5-foot squares in the first place. I was like trying to explain. I basically used Forbidden Lands as an example. I'm like, and this isn't even a rules light game. This is somewhere in the middle, and it is way more of a narrative focused, homebrew friendly game.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm getting riled up.
Anyway.
LMAO.
Yeah, but he's eating his words, and that makes me happy.
He can eat.
Get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
Yep.
Is this another tally to the things that make Derek angry chart?
This is the same thing with D&D 5e. And it's like, it's not the game. And I have to keep saying this. I like playing 5e and enjoying it. It's just people.
Stop. You need to stop.
Let me just clarify my position without anger.
You've done so a million times.
I'm going to do it again.
20 words or less.
5e, good game. People who only play 5e misunderstand RPGs.
I didn't count the words, but sounds good enough.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
That was like 11.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I really distilled it down.
You did. Proud of you.
In short,
Moving on.
There are more games.
New question?
Yeah.
New question. Thank you, Sam. That was
question,
Sam,
who
right?
dis?
Pick game for story.
I should have made it a challenge.
Another question from Sam, as you might imagine. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Again.
Sam.
Is there any part I think we talked about this a little bit, and maybe not catching up, but in one of the banters we did towards the end, is there any part of the Pathfinder universe you really want to talk about but didn't get to feature in the Galarian segment? Okay, it's a little different.
Actually, yeah. Same answer I've always given. I want to know what killed those Krakens.
Get the Krakens.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about the Golden Dragon Island, but that actually does have a module.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what you
Adventure
said
Path.
before.
Yeah.
I think this is different. It's not so much want to play. Is there something lore-wise we didn't get to in Tour of the Inner Sea? Yeah. As that was it.
Basically, that's of all the Pathfinder knowledge, that is what I want to know. I want to know what's up with the Krakens and what's up with the island.
13 dead Krakens.
I can get an answer for the island. We just have to play it.
13 dead Krakens.
Yeah. And Krakens are a high CR
What
creature.
the fuck did 13?
Yeah.
It was 2?
I can give y'all. I know we stopped around the 70s or late 60s in terms of episode numbers for Tour of the Inner Sea. Up on our list, there was like Geb. I don't know if we actually did Geb and Nex. I think we did. I think we did with that book that came out.
I think so.
Yeah, there was a
Yes,
book.
we did, because I did one of them.
Yeah, that's right. So the ones we hadn't done in Unsorted, there was Nidal, Nirmathos, Multhun, Last Wall, Ustalav, Osirian, Katapesh, Mwangi Expanse, Sargava, The Shackles, the Sodden Lands, Rahadum, Thuvia, Kadira.
Rahadum? Is this Lord of the Rings?
There's also Galt, Keonan, the Five Kings Mountains, Razmiran. Oh man, Razmiran. I could talk about Razmiran right now.
Yeah.
Then I had a whole extra segment on just Varesia. So we would talk about Sandpoint, Magnamar, Riddleport, Corvosa, Karamaga. I had a lot of these planned, but doing the homework for these and then also being a GM and recording was a lot. And it showed when we wouldn't do the homework because we'd just be like, yeah, cool place.
I mean, there are cool places.
Random fun fact.
I liked Osirian.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit less into the Galarian lore, but I liked Osirian. You know, who doesn't go through their Egypt stage?
Yep.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Bast.
Not
Bath.
terribly often.
All the time, literally every day.
I think about parts of it.
I have my own Roman Empire.
Is it Greece?
No,
Is it Egypt?
no.
Is it the
math?
United States of America?
I do like math.
Is it math?
Yes, Drow. Drow's laughing at is it math?
What do you want to know, Drow?
Math? Do you want to know more about the Roman Empire?
I mean, I could start going about math if you want.
No. We're okay.
Fucking stop it. Stop it. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Do you want me to start asking the questions in Latin?
Don't they?
That's Spanish.
Oh man, the audience don't think knows this. Jacob loves to speak
We've
bad
talked about it
Spanish.
before.
Have we?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know just enough Spanish to get it incorrect intentionally to annoy my wife.
Huevos.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. Jacob will say fucking eggs, huevos, but he'll like wave his hand because it sounds like the word wave. It's like huevos.
I mean nothing insulting by it, but I believe anybody in any culture can understand doing what you can to annoy those you love.
Mm-hmm.
Story of my last 11 years. Jacob and I celebrated our 11th anniversary. So, yeah.
Jacob, we were in McKay's, the used bookstore, as Jacob's first time. I was showing him off, and you couldn't find Kat, and so you called Kat, and you said, "Como te llamas?"
I'm so mad.
And you were just dead quiet.
The thing is, she answered where she was. She knew what I meant.
Yeah, you said no. You were angry. It's like,
Yeah.
Jacob, and he said, "Excuse me, donde te llamas?"
I was so mad. If it hadn't been that far away, I'd have just turned around and gone home.
So stupid.
Oh my god. Oh, that's rough.
So much fun.
You might could have found me by looking for my anger vibes vibrating
Steam
the McKays.
coming off the top of the bookshelves.
I wanna go to the center of Galarian and know about Rovagug.
That checks out.
Okay.
I have a free tour of the inner sea I can give today.
Oh.
Yeah, a real brief because I was just running stuff in this area. Around the middle of the big lake
Where's Mirren?
is Lake Carthen in the middle of the Avestan continent, the Europe analog.
Bleh.
There are two countries. I'm pointing and looking at my actual map on the wall. Lastwall and Nirmathos. Or not Lastwall, excuse me. Nirmathos and Multhun. Both of those used to be part of Cheliax. Whenever Cheliax fell and fell into civil war, they broke off. But they've had this off and on war between each other. Both claimed independence. But like Multhun is like a more regimented army kind of nation and keeps wanting to take over Nirmathos. And Nirmathos is basically a giant forest with a bunch of rangers and is very unorganized. But the modules I've run for some people at work take place in Nirmathos and then also on the Isle of Terror in the middle of Lake Carthen.
What a great name.
And so those are fun, two little nations. And more importantly, the second module in the adventure is called Masks of the Living God because you have to infiltrate a temple of Razmir. Razmir is a fake god.
I mean, that's
Excuse
being a
me.
bit harsh there,
Yeah.
sir.
He is a man. The module says he
Just
is a
like-
man.
Just like Talos.
Just like Norgabur.
Basically, the Church of Razmir is like Scientology, like almost to a
Oh my
T.
goodness.
Wow.
What a thing to say.
Okay, it's
Sorry,
not
hang
even
on,
a
hang
lie.
on, hang
good
on.
thing we're ending the podcast now.
Yep,
I banged really hard on the table. I think that might have gone into everybody's microphones.
it did. But it's basically just Scientology where he says he's a god. He's a high-level wizard. He doesn't let people see that he's actually aging. None of his clerics actually get powers from them. Most of them are just sorcerers.
I did not know that.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
No one actually gets power from him.
I honestly thought people got power from him, but I thought it was because of their belief in him rather than his power.
You just affected Jacob deeply.
That's
I saw it in his
wonderful.
He is
eyes.
not
That
a
is
god.
hilarious.
They're not Zolgaths.
But basically, he has.
You know
his-
what they are. The things that if they believe hard enough, they make a god.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right?
You said yes. You're correct.
Yes.
You said no. Technically, not in Pathfinder. I added that in the homebrew.
Oh, you added that in
From
the
5e,
homebrew?
maybe. I got it from a third party.
So
Draw's having an existential
I got
crisis.
that from a third party.
I think we broke Drow.
Hey, if you believe in it hard enough, it can be true.
Hey! Continue.
I'm going to teleport across the room to yell.
Basically, the Church of Razmir is a giant mob. The only thing that matters is money and power.
Fair.
And all the like rules and like religious things are just basically veiled things on top of that say you should extort people to get money, and it's an internal fight to be more powerful than everyone else and more rich.
Wow.
And that's why you end up infiltrating this temple, because they're doing all sorts of horrible things in this city with the veneer of helping people, but they're actually like running protection rackets and doing lots of shady, terrible things. And if you like get under their skin, they'll throw you to their snake in the bottom of the temple. Giant snake.
Take him to the snake.
Yep.
Just a snake, or is it like a naga or something?
No, it's like, this is for like
Basilisk.
3. You start at level 3 and you end at level 5. So it's like an advanced giant something snake.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But Razmirin is his domain. It's used to be part of the River Kingdoms. He conquered it and kicked whoever was there out. And that's where his temple is. It's so funny because like in every temple, there's 31 steps to like the second level because there's Razmir and his 31 steps that he achieved for divinity. It's Scientology.
Oh.
I wasn't even joking. It's really funny though.
Oh,
when you get initiated, you get to step on the first step. It's hilarious.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Razmir. Enjoy that fun tour of the Undersea. That's only because I just did
You forgot to end it with the tip. It's just really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good vibes. Love it. All right, so that's another question down. Nice. Too bad there's no fight mic.
I'm pretty sure it was still hearable.
Audible.
I said what I said.
It was hearable.
All right,
I
next
heard it with my
question.
ear. It's hearable.
Anyone want to guess who wrote in this question?
Mario.
No.
Is it Sam?
Sam and Poland.
Sam and Poland.
Hi, Sam. How far do you think Psycheer would go if left completely unchecked? Would Derek ever consider stepping in either as the Church of Bry herself to rein them in?
Okay, so no, you go first.
Or as
This
the
is
church,
yours.
or as Bry herself. I misread that.
I've got two ideas.
The look on their face.
The Hall of the Mountain King is playing in my head, except it keeps getting slower, and I'm trying to speed it up. I need to think. This needs
It's
to.
almost worse.
I know. Whoa, bo, 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 bo.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful. Given the ending, this is after the ending. We have released the ending. I don't think Psycheer is going to be culting quite as much. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. I left that open.
There could be good cult.
There could be good cult.
Cult is just a small group of people.
Like flying spaghetti monster religion.
If not cult, then why cult shaped?
If not cult, then why cult shaped? Beautiful fluffy kitty. One action, get all poofy.
No,
I hate this place.
They just start the cult of get all poofy.
Yes.
Everybody
of
gets
poof.
a perm.
I don't think that they're
It's
quite
the
as
80s.
much into the 13th Ordinal. I think that has been something they've realized is
They went through their
Actually,
Cthulhu.
They went through their phase.
Okay. They did the fucking research and found Cthulhu at the end.
Explore.
Not a
Noted.
phase.
But skews.
A few days later, maybe it should be.
Yog-Sothoth, not Cthulhu.
Yog-Sothoth. I'm sorry that I want to say the cool one. Fight me, Yog-Sothoth. I'll meet you in the corner.
Just yesterday.
In the corner.
No bad dogs.
It's really funny.
I think high beef. Sure, fine. Good. Let's say that they did continue on in this weird situationship that they seem to be forming with what's his fuck? What's their fuck?
Hey, what's a situationship? I've heard that in multiple places. I don't know what it means.
You're too afraid to ask?
I don't have anyone
It's like
to
a relationship, except it's just kind of happening because they're there. They don't actually like each other.
Ask. Oh, okay. Like a one-night stand.
Except
would be
longer.
An example of that.
Like-
okay.
It's a situationship. It's a one night stand that just kind of keeps happening.
Oh, okay.
What, you talking about the div or
No.
the
No.
Kosawana dude?
No.
Parsis?
Parsis. They could lead Psycheer down path of evil.
I don't think Parsis gives a shit about religion.
I
It
know.
might not be about the religion.
It might not be about the religion. It could be about collecting bodies to drink blood
or
from.
just the power.
The power.
Because, I mean, having the head of a cult on your side has got some power.
But I feel like if Parsis drank the mercury-laden blood of these cult members, that might affect Parsis.
It's only Psycheer, and they closed off that tube. Yeah, Derek.
The Lord.
The Lord, Derek.
There were a couple times when I was like, are you sure you should be doing this in the adventure?
Really? What happened?
The
Tell
13th ordinal stuff.
Okay.
The face.
That's why I always
I want to go back to the church and steal people for my cult stuff. Just being like,
I was playing a character.
you were playing a character and I was worried it was going to affect the direction of the campaign.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
I toned it down. I could have been worse. I have been worse.
You have been. That's why I was concerned.
Your faith in me is astounding. I think that we should talk to my followers about this.
Loaf? No comment.
No comment.
He's
from
purring.
My cat is behind them.
If you really wanted to do something with that,
That would have been something that I would have had to talk to Derek about first and foremost.
No, I mean like in the future, because I think that's what the question was. I could see if everything fell right for a story specifically, not for you deciding it, but just as a story.
Yeah.
Derek could have run an adventure where Psycho gets more power. That could have been the stuff with the Parsis. If Psyche ever got corrupted, bam, there's your bad guy for another adventure.
There's a bad guy, yeah.
That could be the bad guy in the adventure for another group of people.
Psyche would make a fantastic baddie.
There's just a ton of paths that could take.
Yeah.
Just like, most other characters.
Eternalism.
Yeah.
Warframe reference.
Hey! So there's a lot of stuff that could be done there. It just all depends on what would happen next. We may never find out what that is.
Well, Sam, I haven't thought about Psyche since we ended that game.
Psyche dead.
Psyche's dead.
Died the next day.
Died the next day.
Of the adventure.
All 9 lives.
Yeah, just something happened in the desert on the way to Parsis Town.
Parsis Town. Parsis drank their blood. Both of them died.
He bit into the mercury tube.
Oh, God.
heavens.
Poor bitch.
I have yet another question. This is not going to help our discussion out at all. From Sam in Poland. It says, Virgil, period. Discuss, period. Parentheses. I'm not sorry.
Folding.
Funny you say this, Sam. Drow has a Devil May Cry t-shirt on today. Although it has Dante on it.
Well,
Dante.
he's the poster boy, all right?
Yes.
I like the underdog.
Dante's just halfway to Virgil anyway.
Dante is halfway
Are
to
you
Virgil
saying
anyway.
that Virgil has that dog in him?
I wouldn't be surprised
done.
if there was a game series where they had
Yeah.
Virgil as a werewolf.
Yeah.
That affected Drow in a deep, unpleasant way. I saw a very funny meme on Instagram today.
yes.
It was like playing an FPS on my PC and turning around, and it just like showed someone whipping around on in a game recording.
Yeah.
And it says playing on my console, and it's the gif of Virgil slowly turning around.
Yeah.
You know the one.
Yeah.
I don't even have to pull it up.
Yeah. I do know the one.
Yep.
He's spiky. He's blue. He's got freak ass eyes and angry eyebrows. He's got a sharp jaw and a sharp outfit
And a sharp sword.
and a sharp sword.
Nothing like his namesake.
You know what his namesake makes me think of?
Virgil from Dante's
The Roman
Inferno?
Empire.
Oh.
Yeah, Virgilius. But
This is why I think of it almost every day.
All roads lead to Rome.
all roads lead to
All roads
Dante.
lead to Rome.
Stop it. Desist.
Your father was a woman.
Anyway, he's mean. And unfortunately, I want to put a collar on him, which is also why I like Amir.
He does have that dog in him.
He does have that dog in him, and I want to walk dogs. Jacob, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm moving on to the next question.
Please.
Oh, poor Jacob. I think he just took some psychic damage.
I saw his eyes roll independently of each other.
I saw the damage counter go off over his head.
It's still going.
It's like
What?
I take nap.
yet another question from Sam in Poland.
Sam.
He loaded us up. Forbidden Lands, Pathfinder 2e, and The Witcher all enter into to the Thunderdome. Only one system gets to walk out. Who survives?
Not 2E.
Not 2e.
No, it's not because I hate 2E, but it's specifically because other games do what they do.
Yeah,
Like-
it's generic.
I'm considering the lore there as well, and if you want Galarian, you can also just get Galarian from 1E.
Galarian is a kitchen sink.
So 2E, not bad, but if I had to get rid of either Forbidden Lands or 2E, 2E is out the window.
Yeah. Witcher is really good, but it has the opposite problem of 2e, where it is like so focused on being the Witcher 3 video game as a tabletop RPG. So it's Forbidden Lands.
Forbidden Lands.
Forbidden Lands.
No question.
Yeah, Forbidden Lands rolled 3 successes on its willpower activation and cast the banish spell.
Also, Witcher could do better with their pre-made content.
Yeah, for real.
It also kind of got dropped.
Yeah, and also like The Witcher is a really good game, but it doesn't have that toolbox that Forbidden Lands does for your GMs. And like they tried really hard to make it, but the problem is there's like the content in the books, the content in the video games, and rectifying that all into a thing that you can make for GMs to have.
Into a world that makes sense.
Yeah.
They couldn't make it cohesive.
Yeah, Forbidden Lands all the way.
Yeah, and then there's
Forbidden
also
Lands all
the
the way.
show, which is different than everything.
What do you
Don't
mean?
talk about the show.
There wasn't.
There was no show.
There was no show.
There is no
Who
war
is Henry
in Boston,
Cavill?
say.
I love Henry Cavill.
Oh, the
Man.
Witcher show. I was like,
Yeah.
what show are we talking about now?
Yeah.
I was like, Forbidden Lands show? What?
That'd be great.
That would actually be pretty
Unless the people
If
who
they did
made
it
The
right.
Witcher show made it.
Yeah.
You can catch me in the starring role.
Oh, you mean you have all this lore for Forbidden Lands? What if we just didn't do that?
Damn. That sucks. Very astute.
Yeah, they make the elves have sex.
See,
It'd be
I
awful.
learned that.
Ew.
I figured out I hated Forbidden Lands, so I'm going to be on this show so I can. You know what? I'm done.
Yeah. They would make the elves not have gems and just reproduce normally. And I would kill them.
Disgusting. You mean
Yeah.
like animals?
Yep.
Ugh, gross.
Another one from Sam in
Sam.
Poland. I think he has like half of these.
Hey, he's asking.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Curious bitch.
What other genre do you think would pair well with Yeehaw? Has Jacob seen Firefly?
I actually have not.
Oh God,
should watch Firefly.
I should. It's just I don't watch many shows anymore. And normally when I do watch something, I have a very unique circumstances. It's when I'm playing a survival crafting game that doesn't need all my attention. That's when I watch things.
He's a second monitor show watcher.
Yeah, and right now it's YouTube videos. So
Cowboy Bebop has a similar feel. Have you watched that?
I've seen a movie. Like I like it. I know I like it. I just haven't watched it.
Okay.
There are a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
Other things that would have the.
People keep thinking that I should watch Delicious in Dungeon.
I read it. It was fun to read.
Okay, cool.
See, Outlaws of Alkenstar is fantasy and some steampunk with Yeehaw.
Fantasy steampunk yeehaw, yeah.
Yeah, I think the big answer here
With Cthulhu.
With Cthulhu.
Well, I was about to say you could probably. There are Weird West
Yeah,
type
like
games.
Eldritch Yeehaw
There
is a
may even
definite
be
thing.
one called Weird West. I can't remember, but every time I hear stories from those games, they are very neat. So those would be great.
Yeah, Eldritch Yeehaw is a great subgenre. Sci-fi Western is another great
Sci-fi
genre.
Western.
It's so good.
Straight up take Call of Cthulhu and just have a Western setting
Yeah.
and change a couple of the skills around for it.
Yeah. But sci-fi Western is one of my favorites. That's Cowboy Bebop. That's Firefly.
Scum and Villainy.
Scum and Villainy. Yeah.
Well, some if you choose to.
And then I think there's another subgenre with like, I don't know what the genre, whatever Doom is, where like there's hell and it's come to Earth,
Yeah,
but also Western.
the Weird West. That's
Yeah.
straight up.
But it's not the same as Eldritch. It's different.
There is a game that the McElroys, the Adventure Zone, played between their first season and their second season when they were trying to figure out what to play for the second. That is Weird West.
Yeah.
That one sounded very fun. One of them plays as a ghost. One of them plays as some kind of magic user. A werewolf. That one was very fun to listen to. I think that would be like what people are looking for. Yeah.
I feel like I know this. I can't remember it.
I think Yeehaw in Hell would be fun.
I'm still going to go Yeehaw sci-fi.
Yeah.
Is it Deadwood?
That might be it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm going to throw a wrench into this and say there's a lot of things you compare Western with, but there's also a lot of slept on things that you compare pirate theme with.
Oh, yes.
Pirate fantasy, obviously. Pirate Eldritch, easy peasy because
Easy peasy.
of the sea.
The sea.
Yeah.
Space sci-fi pirate,
Yes.
like Treasure Planet.
Yes.
That's some good shit.
You're singing my sweet, sweet music right there.
That's some good shit. Yeah, pirate stuff pairs well with
You
a lot
give
of
up
things.
a few things. Chasing a dream.
unironically love
Now I
Pirates
have
of
to
the
watch
Caribbean.
the movie.
21 dreams go into the water.
No. I'm excited. It's a good excuse.
What did you just say, Jacob? You were sure the
I
class?
didn't say anything. 21 dreams go into the water.
Dreams? Like,
8 dreams come out.
Ice cream man, you get the rest.
like DREAM?
Yeah.
Like the Minecraft guy, or just
dream,
a dream?
just
Okay.
29 dream YouTubers go into the water.
Let's go.
Oh my god, that's so
Have
stupid.
fun editing this.
Oh no. I should just put it up raw.
20.
Urban Shadows.
Urban Shadows?
How many did you say? 29 go in?
21.
21 go in, 29 come out. This was all vanilla.
Another one from Sam in Poland. What is the best nickname for Chester on account of how our boy Chester collects nicknames?
That is Chester nickname Williams on account of how we got so many nicknames. Or rather, Chester nicknames William.
Nicknames Williams?
Yeah.
You kind of let that one slide for a long
For
time.
a good little bit. Because, some jokes run their course and you got to pick them up when there's time. And the ending was the time.
It was the time.
It was a throwback.
Chester saved the city Williams on account of how I saved this city. Yeah. That's a good one.
Was that the last one?
No, we have more.
No, his last nickname.
Oh, what was the actual? Was it?
Oh, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was either, but there was something in the last episode.
Yeah. It was something like that, I think. We have another question, another write-in that's not from Sam. I think we worked through all of Sam's.
Well, I mean,
thanks, Sam.
This
That
was your
Sam.
chance.
Thank you, Sam.
It was
so-
good. Those some good ones.
Thank you for the Virgil.
Yes.
That was grand.
Thank you so much for the Virgil. Hey, gang. I write this message a few days before the finale airs, and I can't believe it's almost here. First and foremost, thank you, in all caps, for the many, many hours of fun entertainment you have brought to us for free, no less. I know I will miss your silly antics dearly. Something about your humor just clicked really well with me. You got the same messed up sense of humor we do.
Hey, sorry to hear about that.
I listen to a lot of other TTRPG podcasts as well, but none of them are quite the same wavelength. Every time a new episode popped up on my podcast app, I went straight to the front of the queue.
Oh.
As much as I wish you would continue, I realize that all things must end, and there's a lot of value in closing a chapter for good and moving on to new things. And you should be proud. You have created a monumental body of work, one that has brought joy to the whole audience blob in this small corner of the internet. Treasure it. I'll re-listen to it when you're 60 and tell your grandkids about it.
Did I ever tell you the time I played an old man? Would you like a Werther's original? It'll prep you for the first season.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. I will remain sub to the RSS feed just in case you ever feel like sharing your opinions on Pathfinder 3rd Edition or Ace Combat 8 in the future.
Opinions we can share.
Those are opinions we can share.
But if not, I suppose this is goodbye. Wie Glück, auf Wiedersehen und Dankeschön from Germany. I tried really hard. I hope I got my pronunciation right.
It sounded good to me.
What does it mean?
That means good luck, goodbye, and thank you from Germany.
Oh.
That is from Prince Casper in Germany. Thank
I've
you so
seen
much.
that name.
Yeah, he likes the Ace Combat jokes, and I always like that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad that we got a chance. I mean, I knew we had to end it, but we got the chance to like finish things, put some good closure on it, make everyone happy with a nice finale without completely burning out. And also not just dropping off in the middle of nowhere.
That was important.
And we also get to do this where we have like, the show's done and then everyone gets to say their piece and then we get to say something back. And I don't know, I feel like that's really helpful to put the close on it. I don't know if we're ever going to make stuff again. I'm basically treating it as this is it. Goodbye forever. It'd be a nice surprise if things change in like 5-6 years and we can do stuff again. But I'm not going to plan for it. So if it happens, it happens. But I wouldn't count on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's nice to know that you guys want more. That you actually enjoyed our ragtag crazy stupid humor enough to want more content.
Catch us in 5 years when we start an ESPN podcasts.
Oh, that was the other idea we had for a show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, TTRPG SPN.
Yeah.
Where we would review the current status of other actual play podcasts episodes.
Do it in such a mean way.
It'd be like a 5-10 minute news
I don't know
thing.
if we could do it. I don't know if I could do it.
I don't think you could be mean like
It'd be
that.
a very short, like once a week meta, like just making fun of. And in this episode, so and so from Critical Role critically fumbled on that one shot against the dragon.
Can I be,
Better luck next time. Try playing a bard.
Can I be very earnest right now? Thank you, Prinz. Thank you, Audience Blob, and thank you, everybody here, for taking a chance on this podcast.
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to take a chance on another one. Find somebody else who could really use that one extra watch on their videos. It'll mean the world to them in the same way that it means the world to us.
I agree.
Yeah. You never know what you're going to find.
I am crying now.
I feel like our show, I mean, some shows are small because the content's fine, but not that great. But our show is a testament. There's a lot of people working really hard and just making stuff for the fun of it. And you just don't get seen because that's just how the internet works, baby.
That's just how the internet works.
Yeah, but thank you, Prinz. That was really sweet. That was warmed my heart today. Next one we got is from Bridgebert P.
Bridgie P.
Bridgie P posted on like episode 3 or 4 of Forbidden Lands.
Yeah, he went back.
That might. Oh, okay, that's right.
Bridgie P joined from Witcher, I remember.
That's right.
I'll never forget the day he became your mortal enemy.
Never forget.
The squelch of his face.
I can't even remember what it was, but you're right.
It's like the Family Feud that you forgot the reason for. You just know you're an
I don't have no idea.
What did you do to me, Bridgie P?
It was
Something about needing to explain the joke to Jacob.
Yeah. It was forever
his
ago. It was like
phone.
3 or 4 years ago.
He's frantically looking on his phone now.
Go to our YouTube channel.
I can't tell you
never
what
gonna
episode
find
it was.
it.
I know we had
Season
just gone
2.
to Noah's season 3.
Dang it! That's so much bigger.
We had just gone to like the fair, and your intelligence had been insulted by your wife. And it was the same day when Bridgie P was like,
I don't remember this.
I like that Derek breaks down everything so that Jacob can remember it. And
That's
you're like,
right. That's right. Because you do break down everything, but I get the jokes. I'll
Yeah.
fight all of you.
Fight yourself.
Let me actually read Bridgie P's question.
That was beautiful. Thank
Jacob
you.
just hit himself.
Stop it.
I
Stop
won.
it. Oh.
Not a
Cat,
question.
kiss it better.
We'll do later once I've listened through the final episodes. But I wanted to say I'm finally gearing up in my home group to run a Witcher campaign after our recent 5e campaign
go.
finished.
I'm so glad.
It's been a long time coming after seeing your podcast and getting into the system along with you guys. I may just have to do another listen through season 2 as well. I hope you enjoy running it. And I hope your group is gracious and enjoys a non-5e system. I think they'll love if they like The Witcher at all, like the game or the books or whatever, I think they'll enjoy it.
No, the game and the books. If they liked the show, you should
show them the better versions of it.
recontextualize if you want to be friends with these people.
If they like the show, they would love the game and the books because the show is just a straight downgrade.
Woof.
But yeah, I hope it goes good for you. I'm honestly, one of the things that excites me the most about this show is hearing people say like, "Hey, I found you because I was looking to run this game."
Yeah.
And then like hearing that, "Hey, I ran a game for people and it was great because the world needs more GMs."
And more
God
people to play
bless GMs.
the lesser known systems.
Yes, exactly. And show people that you can play more than one game. So man, I hope your game goes well.
I hope your game fucks hard, man.
Jacob's still looking for the moment you betrayed him.
I'm listening. Ooh, I jumped to January. That's too far.
I think it'd be October 2022.
You know,
God.
it makes me think of the time we were playing Valheim and we named that bridge Bridgie P.
Oh, the Bridgie
Oh,
P.
that's
Bridgie P bridge.
so funny. I forgot we did that. We've been running this show a long time.
We've been running this show a long time.
How you good there, buddy?
I'm finding it. Listen, if I'm going to pick a fight, I want to have a reason to.
Thank you, Bridgie P. Inspire others the way that we inspired you, maybe.
I really enjoyed that you had to spell out that lovey meant loveless, and that you probably did it especially for Jacob. Bridgie P.
You found it. Holy shit. How does that make you feel?
Have the flames been restoked?
They have. Love you, Bridgie P.
Love you, Bridgie P.
Get you one day.
Years from now.
We're going to open back up this podcast in another 5 years. The first
Start
words
off.
that you say, fuck this guy in particular.
Hey, Bridgie P, I remember you. Screw you.
Hey, Bridgie P, it's so good to see you again.
Speaking
And
of
the sound of a knife sharpening into the microphone.
Speaking of, he's got another one written in. So my biggest gripe through the campaign, which has reared its head for good and ill throughout, is persistent damage.
God.
I'm not entirely against it, but when in most systems you can end persistent damage effects by taking actions and maybe performing a modified skill check, this game insists on flat checks. And any skill checks to help don't end the effects, just make the flat checks easier. Some fights it's dished out more than 100 damage. Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
Cat's experience with the interaction between dying and persistent damage rules have shown it to be even more bizarre, where persistent damage punishes the player for succeeding their dying check. Yep.
We've actually had this conversation. I don't know if we've had
trembling.
this a ton on the show, but we've had a lot of it off the show. If you look at the actual literal rules for how dying and wounded and all that works, persistent damage is absolutely ruthless. If I were to run 2E, I would change that so that it didn't work the way it does. I don't know if we ever actually hit that point with you again, but I thought it was just way too harsh.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is annoying that there aren't more ways to just solidly stop it depending on the type of damage. Like fire should be super easy. You splash water on people. That would make sense. If it's poison, I can understand it being a lot more difficult because poisons, even if you give them antivisins, don't always just stop right away.
Yeah.
So an acid, geez, I don't know. Is it possible to stop an acid like that?
With a strong enough base, you
True.
rinse it with that ass load of water.
It's just when you hit that point, it's a whole bunch of nitpicking about specific rules, and persistent damage has an overall rule in order to make it more simple. So I understand why they did it that way. I just still think it is way too harsh.
Well, not many people have my insanely bad luck either. You would think I could manage to roll something I need to roll.
Yep.
But no.
It's also the range that they chose to make it difficult, 15 or more. That's rough.
It's really hard to roll that,
That's like
y'all.
a critical range for your average adventurer fighting something slightly lower than them.
Yep.
So like that's considered hitting a critical in some cases, which
Every
is
day.
supposed to be rough.
I wake up and I'm me.
I think the easiest thing they could have done to rein in persistent damage is keep it as is, but every time you get inflicted persistent damage, just have a round limiter like you do in 1E.
That would be fair.
Or even decrease the DC by 1 for every round that you get hit by it.
Sure. But like in 1E, it's like blah amount of damage, persistent damage for whatever number of rounds. It always has a round counter with it.
You're right.
So if it was like, oh, you have 2d6 persistent negative energy damage, but it lasts for 4 rounds, yeah, you could shake it off with a flat check earlier, but it also has a fixed amount of fucking you up it's going to do.
But hey, there's rules like that in every game you play, even Forbidden Lands. No system is perfect.
Nope.
It's just that this set of rules really, really hurt one of our characters really bad.
Yeah.
You mean one of our players?
Yeah, one of our characters.
Because it hurt me multiple times.
Also, you just have such luck. You got some things down to like a DC 5 check and would still keep failing.
Yes.
It is ridiculous.
I am the example that what is improbable is still totally possible.
That being said, it did also benefit us in a lot of these fights
On the bad side, you're the good side.
Yeah. Yeah, because whenever
benefits.
Chester dealt it out, it would also do just a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the death and dying rules themselves without persistent damage, they're complicated, but I do like them because in a lot of other games, you can just pop up and down real easily. Yeah. And it really restricts that. And then you can use things like the doomed condition that you get from other things to make it more deadly to pop up and down.
It really shouldn't be that easy to go up and down.
Yeah. So I'm not against them, but the persistent damage rules aren't great by themselves, and then the way they interact with the dying rules is bad. is just very bad. I feel like there should be some sort of carve out because, yeah, you're right, Bridgie P. You make your dying check. You basically fucking recover and go to Wounded 1. You take persistent damage and you go straight back to dying, and it would be dying 2.
Stop making me relive my trauma.
Even if you made your recovery check before you took the damage would make a difference.
Yep. Yeah, I wish that part was a little better thought through.
Your ending, yeah.
I don't know if this will be another question the future asked us, but the other rule that I hate in 2E that other people hate is the stealth rules. They're so stupid and complicated, and they don't make a lot of sense. They're not very intuitive. And then I've talked before about how things get buried in traits, and it makes it really hard. But like just trying to roll stealth for initiative and figure that out the couple of times we did it didn't make any sense. Like we kind of had to like hand wave things so we figured it out, because there's like the rogue thing. What we ultimately figured out is the rogue stuff lets you do it normally, but anyone can roll stealth for initiative if you're hidden or whatever. Yeah.
Or just if you're trying to hide or trying to be stealthy.
Right. But it's annoying. It's so annoying, and it shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, but we don't need to rehash that. I agree though, Bridgie P, that the persistent stuff is brutal. There's a part of me that prefers the way Death and Dying works over stuff like 1E, where you had a fixed hit point thing where you die. It was negative your con.
Yeah.
Because those times you could just easily get hit by something, critted by something, and killed instantly.
Yeah.
Or just accidentally get hit by a burning hands and die.
Yeah, and like it feels better than that in some ways, but that also like, I don't know.
Every rule set has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, that exactly. That there was you could predict that stuff a little bit easier than the flip-flopping of the Death and Dying here. But then again, with that, you have the ability to just pop right back up, and I don't like that. So, good write-in. That's a good discussion.
It is a really good discussion.
Oh, and another one from Bridgie P. I think he's finished at this point. We'll see. The campaign had so many epic dungeons. What were your favorites?
I liked the Cradle of Courts so much.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was neat. It was not thematically appropriate. I think that it should have been in a different adventure path, but I liked it.
I also liked the Cradle of Courts. I think the thing that they did with the dog as a boss throughout the dungeon rather than just one at the end was pretty unique. It was cool.
A persistence hunter. That's not something you see in a lot of games.
Does the Hydra Forge count as a dungeon? Because that one was a really fun one.
That would have been a second one for me.
Yeah, that was my favorite as the GM was the Hydra Forge. It was an amazing dungeon.
A wonderful set piece.
And it fit with the rest of the campaign.
It did. It fit with the campaign well.
Even the undead stuff.
They're clockwork zombies.
The 13th Ordinal, a lot of the stuff about Bri just didn't fit well into the campaign. It was fun, but it felt shoehorned, like they needed extra stuff to pad out the game.
How do you think we would have liked the gold diggers hideout? The gold hoarders. The
Gilded Gunners.
Yeah, if we didn't do that peacefully, how would that have been as a dungeon?
I think you would have enjoyed it. It wasn't a particularly long dungeon.
Wait, that's right. You said everybody at the end would have been the people that we fought throughout the dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay. So
more or less. There's some more, I think, than that, but they were mostly just mooks and a couple other things.
Mostly mooks.
It had nothing on things like the Gear Smoke and the Hydra Forge. Honestly, all the great dungeons, sans Cradle of Courts, were in book 3. I'm trying to think back on book 1. There was the brewery, not particularly notable.
That wasn't even a dungeon, though.
No, I wouldn't call it a dungeon.
2 or 3 encounters, if that.
Technically, the junkyard is a dungeon.
Oh, you're
but
right.
we did like the junkyard.
And the junkyard was fine. Shoma's apartment was technically a dungeon. There was no big dungeon in...
No.
Book 1 didn't have a dungeon crawl.
No. And then 2, you had Kosawana's workshop, and...
That wasn't really much of one either.
It was a short one. And then everything else was like travel related. And
travel to Cradle of Courts. And then
you did have the bathhouse, but that wasn't a dungeon. That was a set piece.
But I liked the bathhouse. That was a fun set piece.
That was a
cool
good set
character.
Piece. Yeah, there wasn't honestly a lot of dungeons, but yeah, the Cradle of Courts, fantastic. The power plant, fantastic. I also really liked the Gear Smoke. It was just a very unique dungeon.
How much fun you had with that one would depend on how good you're at being stealthy. We happen to be very good at being stealthy. Therefore, it was a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah.
But if we hadn't been stealthy, it would have been very unfun very fast.
Yeah, it'd be miserable.
Mood.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think in terms of the drip, the Cradle of Quartz, but it is just out of place.
It is.
The Hydra Forge is perfect. It's like not as cool factor, but it fits perfectly its spot in the story so well. It would have been fun if they had done some sort of dungeon around the gunworks. Because they had effectively like 2 rooms and then the cannon thing. But if they had like a dedicated dungeon around it,
That might have been really cool.
that would have been pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Good question. All right, let's see here. And another one from Bridget P. Looks like he has finished. Yeah. Now that Eleanor has left on her adventure, what is Al doing while he waits for her to come home? Well, I think Al went, right? It was a little ambiguous.
No. I think they said Al wasn't strong enough to go.
Okay.
Al was like level 4, right?
Yeah.
One of them was sworn to Psyche's service.
So Eleanor went in his place?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Al's baking.
You cooking.
Al is knitting baby booties.
Al's pregnant.
Al is pregnant.
Or perhaps he was working on catching up frantically. Like, I need
Training.
some rats to kill.
Yeah.
Out
Go
there on
to
the
the
steps,
junkyard.
running up and down the steps every day. Da-da-da, stab.
It's like, please, Phoebe, help. Baby,
I need
help me
help.
find some
Baby.
dungeons.
Go to the farm so you can train.
Go to the farm.
He's gonna kick the shit out of Woodipper.
Yeah,
Oh my
he is.
goodness. Yeah, he is.
No, I'm gonna go with resting and training
Yeah.
Bald's hat.
so he can catch up.
Mama Williams. Chester told me that you know how to train people.
Mama Williams is out
uh,
on the adventure.
You're right, because Chester's dead out there.
Yeah.
Uncle Ten Fingers Boomstick is going to train him.
But Eleanor wears the pants in that relationship.
Yeah.
And that's why Al's
Her level 12 pants.
knitting the baby booties.
Level 12 pairs.
That's why Al's pregnant.
Like a seahorse.
The lower level one gets pregnant. I think I just killed Drow.
You're about to kill me.
And again, and again.
Another good question. Thank you, Bridgie P.
Oh,
All right. Last one.
my throat hurts.
I
Oh, the
think.
last one?
Last one. This is from Mario, in San Diego,
Mario.
California. First off, I want you to all know that I marked the deadline in my calendar for submitting this Ketchin Up. No way I was going to miss this last interaction with
I
you
don't have the
guys.
same reaction.
It's almost like we've been friends for like 10-ish years.
I know, right?
Second, I can't stress enough how much fun I've had with the Third Gallon podcast. I will be re-listening all seasons whenever I need a good laugh because you guys are simply awesome.
Oh.
Now for the actual question. If the show would have continued, what new RPG would you have picked, assuming you could not repeat the previous one? This is a good one. I know we've answered this already,
We
but
could just narrow it down to one each, though.
yeah, we could just narrow it down. If we could also like vote as if we were actually picking one.
Yeah.
Also, for the Outlaws of Alkenstar, what other classes would you have chosen if you were to play it again?
Answer that one first.
You want to do that one first?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Gunslinger.
Gunslinger.
Yeah. I actually had a backup character built that was a gunslinger with like a long arm rifle.
Me
Yep.
too. Except I was
Oh,
pistols.
dang it.
The thing that I had built for if Psyche died was a druid.
Oh, yeah.
And I originally built a
Wait
cleric
a
character.
second.
Yeah.
Hold on. A druid?
I wasn't
have
happy
had-
about it.
In Outlaws of Alkenstar?
I
Derek?
wasn't happy
Oh, I
about it.
thought druids wouldn't fit very well.
It wouldn't.
It probably would have fit better than Psyche.
You okay there, Jacob?
He's brushing himself free of you. Okay.
I see how it is. Bridgie P, you're forgiven. New enemy is Derek.
Cross off the list.
Oh my
Write another
god.
name. So it's all
My vote is
gunslingers.
4E.
Oh, for the game?
Yes.
4E was your vote.
I have to choose between two. Call of Cthulhu. No, it's a Delta Green. That's what I meant. Delta Green.
Delta Green.
Yep. I know other podcasts have done them very well, but Delta Green. Because I want to play it.
I'm voting Monster of the Week.
I think I would. Oh, man. I want to play 4E, but it would not be the right choice right now. But I want to play 4E. I know specifically, Drow, we talked about playing the Dark Sun campaign setting for 4E specifically.
Yeah.
That would not have been a good
Is that
follow-up.
Drow?
No, that's the one where it's like the...
It was the Paizo stuff, right? It was the same artist.
Wayne Reynolds did a lot of art for 4E, yes.
Yeah.
But no, Dark Sun is like a specific setting where like magic has ravaged. The thing is, it's too similar to Outlaws of Alkenstar.
Yeah.
There's no steampunk, but like magic has ravaged the world, and like people using it in wars have like dried up things into a desert.
Oh, so it's
very mana waste.
Oh, okay. So it's a very unique setting. All right, that's fine.
Well, it's not so much magic is unstable, more magic is
got a really bad
it's
rep
like
because it messed stuff up.
bad rap, socially unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. But it's like it's got a twist on every typical like D&D fantasy race. So like the dwarves don't have beards; they're like clean shaven. Yeah, I know, weird.
What?
Oh, I don't think I like this anymore.
No clean shaven
Oh,
dwarves.
do the elves have beards?
No, I forget, but the elves are also different. There's like half dwarves is a race in the game.
Okay, that is cool.
That's
though.
Ogrekin.
In Forbidden Lands, it is, yes. There's a lot of interesting things about it. I don't know if it would not have made sense, but 4E, I keep saying like that was like an underserved market at one point in time that would have been really good. And I think we would have had fun with it.
I think that it would have been interesting, and that's why I would want to do it, because it makes us play through the game.
Yes.
I mean, I'd have played anything you guys said to do, but you give
For
me
sure.
a preference.
Yeah. I do want to do Monster of the Week sometime. I want to do a more rules light game again.
I like rules light.
That's what we should have done after Pathfinder is the thing. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Good. Yes.
Yes, good. Yes, good. Yes, yes,
Yes.
good.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we should have done after Pathfinder 2E is play something more rules light to kind of catch a break off of how heavy the rules were in 2E, especially towards the end.
Probably what we would have ended up doing.
Yeah. 4E would have been on the radar though.
Yeah.
Although honestly, looking back, if we had done things quote quote correctly, we'd have done like 30 to 40 episodes of Pathfinder 2E.
Yeah.
And we would have done 2 other games by now at that pace.
Yeah.
Yep.
But things are the way they are. People wanted to hear this game played all the way through, and we did it for them. And you know, it was fun.
It was fun.
was
I don't
a lot of fun.
regret it.
Regret nothing.
No regrets.
No regrets.
All right. Let me refresh here. That is all the questions we have written in.
Huh.
That's about all they wrote.
And that's all they wrote.
It feels weird.
That's a good sign off.
It is a good sign off. I actually have been thinking of this, but is there anything you guys want to say before we sign off for the last time?
Just honored that people listen to us. Like, that's pretty neat.
I think we're awesome. I think you're awesome. Audience blub back there.
Like, thanks, Audience Blob, for the confidence boost and knowing that complete strangers liked us. Me included.
Yep.
I liked it.
Well, I want to thank all of you very much for listening. I know you've heard from me in a couple of the intros I wrote here towards the end. But it does mean the world to us that you've listened to our show and you've enjoyed it and you got to share these memories with us. I think that's about it. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for writing in these wonderful questions. Thank you all for listening to season 3. I have been your host, Derek. These are my wonderful players, Jacob, Kat, and Drow. And that was the Third Gallon Podcast.
Think of me when you play Devil May Cry.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Ketchin Up. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. We are also on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of this podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon. The theme for Ketchin Up was composed by Alexander Nakarada, and you can find more of his work at serpentsoundstudios.com and support him at patreon.com/anakarada. That's patreon.com/ANAKARADA. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
That's right. You can't tell me when to piss.
Say piss.
Say piss.
Say piss.
Piss, girl.
A piss is a piss is a piss is a piss.
Both piss.
Say piss.
A piss is 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 a piss.
Say piss.
Say piss.
Say piss.
No.
Need to record. We're degenerating.